Hi everybody, how's it going? I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo.
And
this is Otaku Saga Talks.
Where we talk.
For the first time in a while.
About our first impressions.
And the mid-season. Because we've taken forever to get around to this. So, we'll be talking about our first impressions of the anime, and then we'll talk about what we think, like, mid-season wise. Like where it's going and everything. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it.
Yeah, let's start with Boku no Hero Academia Season 2.
Hype!
Part 2.
More hype! Good God, good God, good God.
So, Season 2, Part 2, it starts right after the athletics festival part, when they're getting ready for their...
the internships?
Yeah, their internships.
And by the way, guys, we are caught up on watching it.
No. Well, we have one more episode to watch.
Okay, so we have one more episode to watch, but we're mostly caught up on watching it. We just haven't gotten around to uploading it due to internet issues and a couple other things that are going on.
Yeah. You know, Otaku Saga stuff.
But you've seen them come out,
yes.
so... yeah.
Disappointed Gab is disappointed. Thank you, Gasly.
Anyway, first impressions of the second half. Non-manga readers.
Non-manga readers. Okay. Still, I can only get so erect. I mean, the sports festival was fucking awesome. But come on, Stained is all that is, man.
All that is badassery.
All that is badassery.
Stain is like one of the best villains ever.
So,
He's honestly my favorite villain from the manga.
I know, but he... I guess we can say that for, like, more, I guess, the mid-season part of our discussion of the series. But, yeah, he is so... I don't know how fast he's encroaching on it, but he's really encroaching on, like, pure anti-hero territory. Even though he strikes me, as mainly a villain. I'm conflicted as to where they really place him, and I love it.
I could see him turning into an anti-hero, but he's definitely not like, he's not one of those villains that you just like want to see him die, Right. He's not really one of those villains.
At the same time, I love the character development all around, especially with Ida and Todoroki and Deku.
Yeah, I love that Deku is finally starting to be able to control the power, so he's not just a glass cannon.
That was painful to watch.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, the healing sessions with Healing Girl. The Broken Bones, too, but come on. There's only so much old lady smooching one can take in a lifetime.
But yeah, I love the development of the full cowl, as he calls it. Also,
the animation of the full cowl is awesome.
I loved how he discovered it, how he finally cracked the code. Frozen fucking taiyaki.
I'm this taiyaki.
You sure you didn't hit your head too hard? That would explain it. There we go. Thank you, Ponk. Party hard, party hard.
But,
yeah, not much else.
Just leave it up there.
I don't really want to say that there's not much else, because a lot of character development, a lot of action, a lot of fun. Bones is doing an absolutely amazing job with this series. They did an amazing job in Season 1, did an amazing job in the first part of Season 2, and halfway into the second part of Season 2, I'm still in love with it, so...
Yeah, like I said, very loud and clearly, hype, still. There's no stopping this hype train. Although.
I want more Uchaku, damn it.
I think, actually starting with the episode we're going to hit next, I think we're going to get back to the rest of Class A. Yeah. I really hope so. Start to look at the rest of the internships, and hopefully Uchaku will be included in that.
I want to see Uchaku. I want to see Bakugo's crazy fucking hairstyle again.
Yeah, Bakugo's reform efforts.
A little bit.
Bomb.
All right. So next up we had Fate Apocrypha.
Fate.
Fate.
Oh, that.
Finally over that horrible speed bump that was Fate Grand Order.
Right?
Fate
We don't-
Apocrypha
we
is
don't-
just
we don't-
fucking
We didn't talk
amazing.
about that garbage here. Fate Apocrypha, though.
By the way, Fate Grand Order came out on Google Play in English.
Huh.
Yeah.
Might look into that.
I may or may not have downloaded it.
Oh, you're talking about the game. Okay.
Yeah, the game.
But as for Fate Apocrypha, I don't know how much I want to name drop this dude. I really don't want to give him the traffic.
Ooh.
But apparently, Digibro hates it.
We don't talk about that garbage here.
Yeah, but Digibro has no taste.
We don't talk about that garbage here.
Says that the character design sucked, the action sucks, all sorts of things. I didn't actually watch his video. This is what I'm hearing from people who have.
He's also a major A1 hater. Like, he just hates on all A1 series ever.
Yeah.
And-
just by default.
As someone who really enjoyed Fate Stay Nights, Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited Blade Works, this is probably the better Fate that I've seen.
I find this
No.
Fate to be more exciting than, like, the original Fate or Unlimited Blade Works. It's kind of on par for me with Fate Zero.
I really liked Fate Zero,
But I
Unlimited
like-
Blade Works was god tier.
I like the way that this one is set up with the two different, like, teams.
I like that everything. Well, I keep saying this, but I like how this is a breeding ground for the Nasuverse to kind of take new takes on the Fate formula. Or rather, actually break away from the Fate formula. That alone should get fans of the Nasuverse hyped.
And at the same time, like, we have such a diverse cast. I'll stoffel here. A trap character
A
who
trap
is
among traps.
absolutely hysterical. And is so much fun to watch.
Actually, that's another thing I really like. Even the servants have their own motivations and are willing to rebel against their masters. To
The
fulfill
servants are
those.
definitely more characters than they really are in
Yeah.
the other Fate series.
Normally, it'd be like, say, like a single villain trying to manipulate their master, or kind of like Caster in the original series, trying to run things their own way. But now you have to kind of keep an eye on all the servants because they even have they have their own ends they want to meet.
Actually, another interesting thing that I want to bring up. I had a little discussion with somebody. I'm not sure. I don't remember who it was, but I had a discussion with somebody on Discord that was away from a video discussion, where he was confused on who the main character was. And we see in the promotional art that it has Jean and Sieg now, as he's called.
The homunculus.
It has those two up on the promotional art and nobody else is there. So, presumably, they're the main characters.
Yeah, a good
But-
reasonable assumption.
On the other side of that, they have this really nice, like, Game of Thrones style where, sure, you have your favorite characters, but your favorite character can be anybody. And that character could be almost the main character of your follow-through to a certain point.
Well, yeah, it depends on what is going on at the time. I thought that Fate Zero also did a pretty good job of it, where it didn't really give the main focus to anybody in particular. There were people who didn't ever get the main focus, but you got like a group of 4 or 5 or I should say 4 or 5 master servant pairs that did get the main focus, but none of them were really the main characters. And you're kind of getting that here too, because you get Mordred and her master.
And Mordred and Shishigo.
You get obviously Ruler and Sieg in the past few episodes that we've watched. Obviously, we haven't watched episode 6 yet, but you've been getting a lot of the people from the Black faction.
Humanizing the Black faction.
Yeah, I also like how it's not just like, oh, these people are evil, these are the people that need to go down. You get that. Well, you get... the Black faction is morally dark gray for the most part, but the Red faction is not white.
Yeah.
You know, you're still getting a lot of how do I want to put it, behind the scenes kind of iffy,
Bit of shadiness.
yeah, shady deals going on
Now,
there.
I could see your point with Fate Zero, but when it came to Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Stay Night, they really keyed in on Rin and Archer, or
Shiro and Saber.
Shiro and Saber.
Well, Fate Stay Night was a more traditional story where you're just following one person.
Yeah.
The original Fate Stay Night visual novel is all told from Shiro's point of view. So
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I really like that deviation from that specific setup, and going back to kind of Zero. I think it's doing a much better job, because I don't know whether or not I'm focusing on the servants or the masters, which I love.
And you get a double dose of that you have a very expanded cast in Apocrypha.
So I'm absolutely amazed by this. Action, fantastically done. It shows off things that I wish could have been shown off in other series, that I wish A1 would have done the same, like, similar battle styles with. Because it really shows off, like, it can really... Black Saber versus... what was it? Red Lancer? I think it was. That first fight scene where they were fighting over.
Oh yeah, Siegfried and Karna.
Yeah. That fight was amazing.
yeah, Silent Euphorian brings up a point that was another thing that douche brought up. He said that the cast was too large and confusing.
Oh, that's
But
cute.
we're also 6 episodes into a 2-core series, so there's still plenty of time for the other members of the cast that haven't really shown up yet.
That
Yeah.
has a huge cast.
Huge cast.
There's plenty of series that have huge casts that are still really good. I don't know. I still don't get that whole.
People are going to hate what they're going to hate.
Yeah, I also enjoy
Absolute
huge
douche.
casts generally because it also generally gives me more characters to like.
And, like, I put out that Game of Thrones reference, and it's really apt because Game of Thrones has a huge cast. You can follow whoever you really want.
And it does a good job of going from storyline to storyline. You know, each character's subplot. It does a good job of transitioning between them.
I mean, obviously, there's points where it has to deviate from all of that and really focus in on this is what's going on.
And
Like,
end them abruptly. Thank you, George.
Like what happened in this last episode with Ruler and Sieg. We had a lot, like the entire episode was basically
About them.
about the Black faction and everything that was going on with that. That was the entire episode, pretty much. So obviously we're gonna have that where it has to really focus in on the main storyline, just so we can have everything moving forward. But I love the back and forth and just shuffling things around.
And also totally unrelated,
Well-
but Fran, the cutest berserker ever.
Fran's adorable.
Good
Mordred
guy.
is fucking hot.
And booty shorts, though. We have to end the discussion on, the most vapid and shallow subjects here. Fran's cuteness, Mordred's booty shorts.
Mordred.
Mordred.
Mordred. Anyway, we should continue.
Moving on,
I'm
we are
going
going
with Team
to
Fran, though.
we're going to go over to gamers.
Which was a big surprise for me, I think, this season.
It was a huge surprise for me. I was totally expecting the return of Defrag with the zany kookiness and all that stuff, but it's infinitely more serious.
I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but I sure as hell know that it wasn't what we got, which was freaking hilarious.
I mean, yeah, as hilarious as it is, especially following poor Karen. Oh my god, my heart breaks for her. But it's a really good teen melodrama, a good almost a slice of life school drama series. On top of its hilarious moments,
Best facial expressions ever.
Technicolor death look.
Getting choked so hard, your face turns into a rainbow.
I think it was more the
That's
fact that
pretty
he
good.
was about to push him over the pedestrian bridge into traffic.
I just brightened the colors. Turned him into a traffic light.
Right. But yeah, I mean, this one is absolutely fantastic.
Best end cards. I mean,
Uh,
those are the best ones I've seen since Dagashi Kashi.
And at the same time, other than you
Best eye
get
catches.
you get it kind of you get it a little bit with a mono, but with the rest of the cast, you really dive into the psychology of a gamer and the emotional spectrum of a gamer
yeah.
in many different ways.
I
The
think-
attitude
yeah, I
toward
think-
gaming.
I think, one of the things that I like the best is how real it is with these gamers. Because it's not just painting gamers as, these people like playing games.
Such
That's
a
all that they
nerdy
fucking do.
misanthropes who
Yeah.
lock themselves away for months at a time.
I mean, obviously you
Like,
have
or
those
whatever.
characters because you have those people in real life too, but
But yeah, this the focus is more, I guess, on their attitude toward gaming, especially the dynamic between the casual and the competitive gamer.
yeah, you get somebody like Uehara who is a gamer who likes playing games, but he's not super open about it.
He's a
And
closet gamer.
He's a closet gamer, and he's more of the.
Wow. You were saying something.
He's more of the gamer who's also a popular guy.
Mhm.
Like I like how the characters aren't just really one-dimensional.
And then you have people like Momo, who is completely closed off, completely entrenched in her games. Actually, no, not. I'm sorry. We don't know who Momo is.
Chiaki.
Chiaki. I'm assuming it's Momo. I think I might actually be wrong with that. But Chiaki, very reclusive, really deep into her games, but at the same time really passionate about her games. If we get her talking about them, she'll talk forever. I know people like that.
You get certain people talking about. You get any real nerd really talking about their passion, and you can't shut them up.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then I forgot what Urahara's girlfriend was.
and what impression she's made.
It's the other
The other
possible
one.
Momo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, she's that person that.
Kakegurui, thank you, Ghastly.
Yeah. She's that person that that changed for her love, basically.
I don't know who I like better though, the before or after.
But I think she's gonna end up being that person that becomes a gamer later, due to the influence of how Uehara is starting to become. I think that she's we haven't gotten there yet, but in the first episode there was the little funny subtitles where it was like Uehara doesn't know it, but she'll be talking a lot with with
The mono.
yeah, with a mono.
I love how those bit of foreshadowing in the first episode. Karen's totally gonna lose it. He's the reason why.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that she's gonna end up being that person who is not a gamer but becomes one later.
I think she's either gonna become that or a gamer widow. I mean, that would. That seems like a move that this series would kind of take, perhaps. I mean, very a real thing. She may come to hate gaming and, for all we know, break up with Uehara.
Well, especially with where we left the series is Amano and Agiri are having lunch, and across the street is Chiaki and Urahara. And there's this weird exchange of glances, and that's
drop drinks, and oh my god, what the hell? So
so far so good. I definitely
big surprise,
especially since it's from an animation studio that I honestly hadn't heard of before. Pine Jam. Yeah, I hadn't heard of them before, so that's another reason why I didn't really know what to expect from this too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Karen's fall into.
Oh, in the latest episode we watched. Oh, good God.
She caught the feels and now has completely lost all of her touch.
When you got it bad, you got it bad. She has it worse.
Love sickness.
And how?
Love stinks.
Moving on, another surprise here. Isekai Shokudo, the restaurant of the other world. For its relaxing feel, week in, week out, this is definitely in that same sort of category as, say, Flying Witch or Mamato Inazuma. A very wholesome, feel-good kind of anime. A nice palate cleanser after watching some of our instant drop series like Battlefield High School, which we'll never touch again. Thank you for asking.
We'll get to that later. Isekai Shokudo, I like how we get the different stories and everything is just, well, honestly, it is really different. Every story is just completely different from one another.
Yeah, it's like an anthology of short stories almost.
It really is.
I having to deal with just the one common setting being the restaurant.
But I kind of wish going forward that we would get a little bit more character development.
Yeah. It's needed. I want to know more about these customers.
I want to know more specifically about, like, say, the Dragon Queen and, like, the restaurant owner's family's history with the other dimension, with the other world.
I want to know. I want to know, like, the restaurant during the week. I want to see it during the week. What are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, business must be booming if they're willing to shell out that much food on a Saturday.
Right?
Anyone just wanders in, you get, your one free meal and all that. And
now,
you can just imagine how much they lost.
Okay, it's not that it's free, because it's actually not. It's just that because of the nature of finding the restaurant, the owner is more willing to put it on somebody's tab, especially the first time that they come in when they might not have any money on them. But we also see that
just fine.
We also see that the owner exchanges the gold that he gets from his sales on the day of Saturn to that guy who made a huge
the pasta guy.
Yeah, the pasta empire guy. We see that he exchanges the money for special ingredients from the other world. So it's not necessarily that he's making a huge amount of profits from this. It's he's getting profits in other ways, we'll say. At least that's my take on it. And then during the rest of the week, he's just a normal restaurant in Japan.
Now, Other than that, like the concept is fantastic. I love the way that they're doing everything episodically. It's nice little pace and really soft anime.
Soft.
The unfortunate part about that is it also shows in the animation. Because the animation is B team, I think.
Yeah, the animation's not like...
It's definitely not like fake Apocrypha or... maybe the softer touch is Deliverance.
Especially something from Silverlink. I mean,
Yeah, I would think that Silverlink would do a better job, but...
I don't think the quality difference is that obvious from the Earth series to call it B team.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it B team, but you could definitely tell that they're not. They didn't bring anybody for this animation team that typically does action scenes, because those are the scenes that suffer the most, I feel.
Yeah, you say that the softness carries into the animation. I think that might be a deliberate artistic choice, perhaps, but...
It might be, but like I'm going through the works here, and Silverlink also did Tanaka-kun.
Very well animated.
Very well animated.
And
They
of
also-
the same vein, too.
They did Rocket Aikishi.
And
they
Happy
did-
had a really good anime. Okay.
I mean, they have really good animation on their team, even for slice of life series like this.
Slower paced ones.
And I feel like they've really like. I don't want to say dropped the ball on the animation, but it's not as polished as I'd expect from like.
Okay.
From
Especially
Silverlink.
yeah, especially based on their other works.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like the animation, they really dropped the ball when it comes to the action scenes. That one guy who was like on a death march trying to warn his town of an impending invasion or whatever. The action scenes when he was on his journey, those were really lackluster to me. I feel that the animation otherwise is fine. It's just those particular scenes aren't the best, and I just think it's because they have their more action oriented artists working on other things.
They probably had their action animators working on Machiavellianism when they were producing this. I'd imagine.
Maybe.
But and with the same thing with the Lion Dude and the Manticore, that could have been polished up a little bit. But at the same time, like especially in
Or the lizard.
yeah, the majority of the Lizardman stuff was really awkward to watch.
Yeah,
It's not just because the Lizardman sat there naked bathing.
That was
Had to
awkward
bring
in
that
its
up.
own way.
That was certainly awkward in its own way, but everything else was odd. Everything seemed off. Just a little bit. The way they moved, the way he talked, it all seemed really off. And unfortunately, the rest of that episode, because of that, I thought was rather off.
Too much Argonian blood wine.
Even when didn't we move into an elvish person right after that?
Oh yeah, the hippie elf.
Oh god, I hated her.
Even those scenes, but like when the elf was running down the forest, the second time, it looked odd. So yeah, just those little things that's why I want to say it's definitely not their A team.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things I could pick apart, animation-wise. But other than that,
It's enjoyable.
it's enjoyable.
It's
Very much
like
so.
it's not one of my top series, but it is enjoyable to watch. It's far more enjoyable to watch than some other things that we're watching.
For some other things we'll never watch again.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Shut up. Anyway, I think we should go ahead and move on to Kakegurui.
The other side of the animation coin this season.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mappa.
The
Oh,
eyes
Mappa.
have it.
Fucking Mappa.
Mappa.
Have they ever disappointed?
Yes.
Mappa, yeah. Okay, there's some of their series.
We'll get to it later on.
There was another
Oh,
series
right.
that they came out with that we watched one episode of and dropped.
Right.
But Kakegurui.
It's easy to forget about that disappointment with this anime.
Yeah,
Holy
Kakegurui
shit.
is really, really well animated.
Well animated. It's fun.
It's crazy.
It's batshit crazy.
I expect this from Trigger.
Right, yeah.
Mm.
Something insane like this.
It's definitely, it feels like a Trigger
It's
work.
10
but
pounds
better
of crazy in a 5-pound bag.
Right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, feels like a Trigger anime, but more crisply animated.
God.
And also Yumiko's Bay. Holy shit.
I don't even know if I could say that, though. She's too crazy.
Do not
don't get-
stick it in crazy.
Just don't gamble against her, that's
Trust me.
If there's one thing negative that I would have to say about this series, it's that I find the main character to be kind of useless at this point.
all.
The main male character.
What's his nuts?
I can't remember his name.
And what an impression he's made, right? Yeah, he's pretty
Right.
He's the tool of Yumiko. I don't even call him the main character. Yumiko's the main character. I mean, come on now.
Frustration is waiting for this image to load.
But yeah, oh my god. This character, she's that one character, or she's that weird type of person who is so dominant and so good at being dominant that she can act submissive and still dominate your ass.
There you go. Even when she, when that picture of her loaded, I think that's just Tanya just trolling us. When she loses, she wins.
Right.
And well, with the kitty pose, we all win too. Come on now. Goddamn.
And then her and Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And-
tag teaming it.
Whew,
The,
boy.
But what a crapsack world, am I right?
Very much so. And I kind of like it how it kind of follows this tradition of like really shady shit going on behind the scenes at an elite private school. You know, you have this kind of facade where it's like, okay, you know, it's a very uppity kind of school. You know, everything's prim and proper, and then there's just this underbelly. But it's not really that. It's almost like a parallel dimension. And it's, you know, it's totally condoned. And I think that just accentuates the overall craziness of the series. Because everyone here, with the exception of the main character from what we've seen, is absolutely insane.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think this is a school for the elite. I think it is a fucking insane asylum.
Yeah. I also find it a little weird how in the first episode they say it's all underground, but it's not.
Totally not.
It's in plain sight. That's why I said it's not so much an underbelly as is like a parallel dimension.
Yeah.
Oh, and again, the eyes. Very, like, prominent feature here.
Could have
Character
sworn
designs
when the
on.
main character was explaining it to Yumiko that he said that it was that it was an underground thing.
Yeah, but so by underground, what I mean is the teachers don't know about it. The teachers don't know about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure the teachers know about it, but they don't care about it, so it just slips under the radar.
Again, it's almost a tradition in school anime like this. I mean,
The
like
adults
say
are useless.
The adults are useless. Or
There are
not
teachers
there.
in this school?
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't think that we've ever seen any classes being taught.
No, not
Yeah.
really.
Have we?
That was the first episode.
In the
Was it?
first episode.
Just a little bit, just to remind the viewer that this is a school we're at, after all.
Right.
Yeah, you wonder what the PTA is on this.
Right?
What the hell? Actually, for all we know, given the circumstances of this school in particular, I think the parents and teachers might be all for it.
Well, the parents probably are.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure a lot of the parents went to that school.
Actually-
Remember, the school is to teach these elite kids to be ruthless, basically.
The ruthless businessmen, women, politicians. The elite.
Actually, Fanta, Ryota, he's necessary in certain ways. He brings a sense of realism to the situation.
Normality.
Yeah, normality to the
Help
situation.
keep the viewer grounded.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, I can see that. You got to keep the viewer grounded.
Just
that way
so-
you can appreciate.
Yeah, just so you
Crazy.
can appreciate exactly how crazy things are.
Okay.
Instead of, like, if you have the same concept with every single person, you end up having this, like, defrag where everybody's insane. Or, in the same vein as that. I can't really think of many other series. But now that you have a standard to work on with Ryota, you can definitely ground yourself more in reality.
So basically, he's just the yardstick for crazy.
Yeah. It's necessary, and it kind of sucks that he's put in that situation because he's used for nothing else.
Yeah, it just annoys me that they use him for absolutely nothing else. That's all that he's there for. And yeah, Mr.
And to be
Exposition.
And to be a.
Oh my God! This is this person who does this.
Thank you for spelling it
And
out.
don't ever go against them because they're, they'll
they know how to
fucking-
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like him better when he's a footstool for Mary. He is the narrator,
Yeah.
Mr. Exposition.
But yeah, I mean, he is just that guy who's there to be like, oh, don't go against this person because they're so good at doing this, and they'll defeat you and make you into a livestock. Yeah, it's like he never learns.
Or him walking up on, frick, what was her name? Main girl.
Oh.
Yumiko?
Yumiko. Jibami. There we go.
Mary Neon.
Um,
Very nice.
When he walked up on Jibami getting cornered by those dudes, and he tried to step in, but really couldn't do anything about it.
Because he's a pussy.
Yeah. That sense of odd normality, and then Jibami just being like, whatever, hang on.
Yeah, no, I got this.
I got this.
Right.
Ouch.
Anyway, I think we should go ahead and move on.
Very much.
Final thoughts on Kakegurui.
Holy crap.
Holy crap, it's awesome. I'm very disappointed that they had to take a week off last weekend because of
Damn sports balls.
God.
The World Athletics Championships of all things.
Well,
Actually,
we're getting 2 episodes this upcoming weekend, so that's a win.
Hype.
yeah. I mean, come on. It's just Usain Bolt's final race ever.
Anyway, it's an awesome series.
Yeah.
Mappa did a really good job again.
Hit it out of the fucking park, I think.
So
far. We'll
And
see where it
now
goes from here.
for something that is weird.
this is definitely
We need a voice.
interesting.
We need a voiceover for this. Hold on. We're talking about Knights in Narration. I mean Knights in Magic.
Yeah, we need somebody to be our narrator on this.
Had to go off screen for that. So
But yeah, Knights and Magic. Where to begin with this one?
let's address the elephant in the room, gentlemen. This is a love-hate relationship.
Right.
I love the concept. Isekai, mecha. Good God, that is
I
awesome.
love the animation.
The fantasy elements. Oh, I finally loaded. Look at Jibami and all the fuck she gives.
Yep.
But back to sorry, that can be hypnotizing right there. But the fucking narration.
You know,
the lack of visual storytelling.
it's so funny because This is the type of series that I would normally be like, you know what, I want to fucking drop this, but I can't. It's like every week, it's like a train wreck.
It is a train wreck. You really can't look away.
Yeah, I don't want to watch, but I can't look away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you just want to give it one more week to see if it gets better. It keeps pulling you back for more.
And at the same time, like, it is hitting par
Right.
on everything but the story.
Any part, at least.
Okay, I like the animation.
Love the
animation
action.
is good.
Love the action sequences.
The actual concept is good. Like, I can tell that the base story is good.
Yeah, love the visuals. Even though Ernie was born in a barrel of industrial lubricant.
The opening and ending songs are par.
Yeah.
They're not great, but they're not, they're not something I'm like, oh god, this again. They're not something I, tear the headphone out of my ear every time we have to listen to them.
Have we ever had an opening that bad?
I've had an ending that bad.
Attack on
remember?
Titan season 2.
I fucking hated that ending.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. But yeah, the worst part about this series is the fact that even without knowing anything about the light novels, I can tell that they're just like character development, story.
Oh no! Give me something to toss.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
no.
Oh no! Oh. Do we have something? Hey, there we go.
I don't
There we go.
have
Thank you.
anything Non-breakable.
Yeah, non-breakable.
Character development, story. Yeah. Action! Everybody wants action. Just action.
Cliffhanger.
And let's explain everything because everyone's too stupid to read a situation.
This last episode that we watched, episode 6, had one of the worst moments of narration that I've ever seen in anime.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
Where the two guys are sitting around talking
Two politicians.
Yeah, Lord Dick's guard.
Yeah, two politicians.
That's a guard.
Sitting right next to each other,
Boom. Here we go.
having a conversation.
Actually, you two have the conversation.
So we think that these spies were from the Occident.
Oh,
The Occident means west.
Yeah, the Occident is the countries to the
West.
And that was the narration.
How fucking retarded is that? Like, seriously.
Two sentences. Two sentences.
Information that I'd imagine a viewer would know already, and
then they go right back.
brought
Yeah,
up.
then they go right back into the conversation between Dick's guard and the other guy.
Like nothing happened. It's,
That narration makes my head hurt. Or in the episode before when it's like, oh, they fought all morning and they destroyed all of the beasts.
we can establish that, yes.
Yeah,
if
like
you just show them fighting and killing these demonic beasts.
Like, it doesn't even have to animate them like actually fighting and killing. Like, they
Right.
could have done that scene where it was showing the forest from a distance or whatever, but maybe show like time passing or something.
Right?
And that would tell me all I needed to know about that fight.
Maybe show the silhouette knights marching in the aftermath, maybe staying a little bit of blood and gore. That tells the story right there.
Yeah.
You don't have to say a word.
Yeah, and show it being a completely different time of day.
Yeah.
Or
Visual
whatever.
storytelling is lost on this director. He should, actually, we were talking about this the other day. Who's the director who did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? Ed White?
I can't remember.
But yeah, the director did Scott Pilgrim and Shaun of the Dead. Watch his films and learn. This, that is a guy who could teach a master class on how to do visual storytelling.
Shadow, I understand that a lot of people don't know what Occident means because it's not as popular of a word as Orient, which is the other side of that. But you could have the character, like, you could have one of the characters say, like, oh, I think they were from the Occident. And then have the other character go, so the country's to the west.
Or even better, take a swagger stick and point it out.
Oh, yeah, have them walk up. Yeah, have them.
To the big old map and everything, We move our troops from the Occident and just shove them westward. Little
Alright.
things like that.
Or how about this? All right, go ahead and repeat what you said. The repeat
That
your line.
We think that they were from the Occident.
Well, why would the West attack us?
Exactly.
Thank you! Thank you! Fucking hell!
That's a conversation,
That's a conversation.
and that spurs up the next topic. Like that spurs up the next topic that came in the fucking conversation.
Yeah, this narrator, entirely unnecessary.
Where the next person was talking about how there might possibly be spies.
That is a good segue.
This series makes me want to curl up on the ground in the fetal position.
But at the same time, regardless of the shit storytelling,
It's still enjoyable
it's
to
still
watch.
enjoyable. I mean, the base story, the story concept, incredible. I think.
love Ernesti.
Likeable characters all around for the most part.
The only
A
one.
couple of cliched ones like Addie and Ernesti a little bit.
From what I understand, from what Fantasillion says, because he is our resident light novel reader here, Addie gets a lot of character development in the first novel,
Okay.
which makes her a good character. But since they skipped over that, she ends up just being annoying in the anime.
So chalk it up to a distillation of the source material.
Pretty much.
That is a shame. And all this wasted time with the shit narration and all that could have been just spent a little bit on developing characters better. Just a lot of bad directorial choices overall.
Clearly, they had paid too much money for the voice actors that's doing the narration, and they want to get their money's worth.
Right? Get paid every time they put in some sort of useless narration. I'd have to get in on that action. Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
another interesting thing.
Oh.
As Fenta says, and I'll read it out. And I bet you never realized that another reason why that Ernie is so OP is because he started when he was really young. It's a thing where you learn more easily when you're young, but children aren't smart enough to do what Ernie was at that age due to the fact that he was reincarnated.
Prior knowledge. So
Yeah.
very, very much like Tanya in Yojo Senki,
Yeah, kind of.
except less homicidal.
But I mean, it's basically, it's true to the real world too. If you're doing something ever since you were a kid, then you're going to be more adept at it than
Right.
somebody who started when they were an adult.
You get your
Or
10,000
even a
hours
teen.
in earlier,
Yeah.
basically.
Character development certainly leaves a lot to
Be desired. Yes.
It's just, whoever directed the series, fire them.
Even with
Make sure they never work in anime again.
But yeah,
Even
so
with Ernesti, like the character development really isn't there. All I know is that he's pretty freaking awesome.
But
Too bad
again,
you don't show it how.
yeah.
Like
you don't see diddly squat about even the main character.
all that you see is, oh, I kind of want to do this part. Da 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 da.
All right.
2 weeks later. Da 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 da.
8 months later.
10 months later.
Oh, sorry.
It was
10
10
months later.
10 months later.
And the
After
most recent
awful
episode.
montage.
They had a 10-month skip.
And then suddenly they have all this awesome gear that, they didn't actually show them building, really.
The distillation is real. Yes.
Da-da-da-da!
So the guy who directed Infinite Stratos directed this series. Is that what you're saying?
Huh.
Explain
No
some things,
wonder.
perhaps?
I didn't even really feel that much distillation from Infinite Stratos, though. Like, this is really bad. Like, really, really bad.
The guy's gotten worse.
But yeah, so far pretty much everything is like 5s across the board, except for like... I don't even want to put it in the story category, but that's kind of where it is. Like the story/writing category is like a 1. And it's not necessarily the story.
It's how they're...
It's how the director put
how
together...
they're telling it.
Yeah, how the director put together the story.
Yeah. It's actually, yeah, it's like, say, an iconic comedy routine, but you're trying to tell it to your friends at a party. It's just nowhere near as good as hearing it from the guy who wrote it.
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy.
That's a really good analogy.
Anyway, I think we should continue on.
Yeah, and we are continuing on with the series, even though it is a hot mess.
Right. It's
So-
almost fun to rage every week.
Almost.
And then our friend Fantasilian here in chat being the resident
let you
light
guys-
novel.
I'm gonna let
Reader.
you guys take care of this one real quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go take care of something.
Alrighty, so Made in Abyss, or Minecraft, the anime.
Uh,
No, not
I
quite.
wouldn't necessarily say that.
There's no crafting.
There's no
involved.
crafting. It's just, I don't know. For some reason though, just the whole aesthetic of the world. Yeah, everyone's a sort of like cave explorer, spelunker sort of. It reminds me a lot of Minecraft, or at least I imagine this anime a lot while I'm playing Minecraft, as I have been a fair bit lately. I love the aesthetic.
Background Maker, the anime.
Background name.
Because
Terraria.
Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss. Yes.
Because, like, you could take screenshots of most of the scenery shots, and it would just make excellent computer backgrounds.
Actually, you know what? Here we go.
Desktop.
Here's another title you could use. All right. The greatest anime that Studio Ghibli never did. Because
Or,
when I first saw the promo art and everything, I'm like, oh, a new Ghibli film? I get a lot of callbacks, especially in particular to Nazca, the Valley of the Wind,
Yeah.
with these really sort of crazy natural settings.
Also, Perverted Lollies, the anime.
Perverted everyone! Good God. Okay, yeah.
That's like the one thing that I just cannot get over in this anime is just like everybody's like, nudity, whatever.
We're out of the orphanage, but I will never get over the standard disciplinary procedure. Hang him
standard-
up, string him up naked, and whip him.
In public, I might add.
In public, yeah. Public BDSM, yeah.
Or the fact
That'll
that
learn
the
'em.
first thing that everybody
Fucking
seems to check when they figure out that Rig is a robot is his dick. Huh, those look real.
Nothing mechanical about those. So casual about it, too. Ugh. It disturbs me on a deep emotional level. But
It's almost surprising how much that disturbs me about this series.
Kind of surprised me that they're able to get away with it broadcasting.
Right.
This isn't aired on ATX either, much to my surprise. But perviness aside, wow, I mean, what an adventure anime.
Yeah.
Am I right? It's just,
yeah, you can definitely tell that it's heading
aired on-
dark. It's definitely going to be dark.
man. You already know it's not going to end well
Yeah.
for someone.
Well, I mean, if you
Good
look
thing.
at it just from what we've learned about the world, they've already gone deeper than what God, what's her name? The main girl.
Rico.
Yeah, Rico. We've already gone deeper than what Rico can even return from.
Right. What she's physically capable of.
Yeah, so she can't go back.
So either they're going to, right, like the mother of all cop-outs or Deus Ex Machina again and give her a return pass at the end, which would be a major disappointment. Or yeah, this is a one-way trip.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is if they find that one artifact that she was brought up in when she was a child.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing that I can think of.
Considering
And
how
to be
fast
honest,
the
I'll be a
Abyss...
little disappointed if they go that route.
Yeah, that would definitely be a cop-out. And cop-out and rehashing that plot device. Oh, God. I mean, that'd be more disappointing than the series going dark and everyone dying or staying down in the abyss, perhaps.
Made in the Abyss has a narrator too, but it's not as overused as Knights of Magic.
They're a lot more judicious with the usage of narration in this series,
Yeah.
and because of that, I greatly appreciate that. Because, good God, Knights of narration is enough bad narration probably for a lifetime.
Though I will admit, this previous episode of Made in Abyss had a really bad moment of narration where it's like showing what's her name, the white whistle.
Ozen.
Ozen.
Yeah, it's showing Ozen, and then it has the narrator going, and there's a glint in her eye, but they don't know whether she's good or bad, or something to that effect.
Yeah, at the same time. it's
Find
like-
out next week on
you
Dragon
get
Ball
this,
Z.
You get this like point of view looking up at her from the floor or something like that, and they're just like deadpan eyes
Yeah, but that,
with
that
no gleam in them whatsoever.
So yeah, one, not accurate description, and two, cheesy DBZ Pokemon late '90s anime narration. Tune in next week.
That wasn't
Ouch.
there in previous episodes.
Right, that hurt.
That was an extremely bad moment there.
And it will bug us. And it probably bugs us a little bit more because during that specific episode we had watched Knights and Magic just
before.
previous.
Oh, God.
So we were already turbed to the
Brother,
narrations.
After this season's done, we should probably watch like Okami-san and the Seven Companions just to get a dosage of good narration. Yeah, just to serve as a palate cleanser, and also Ryoko's legs.
But
Something. We have to
I
be
wonder if
soothed.
is our source material guy? Nope, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, our source
Um,
material guy is not here.
But so brought it up in chat a little bit last night to somebody who was wanting to get into the series, and I told him to expect an adventure for one, and cute
Right.
moments to happen. Not really much else.
Oh, that's evil. Expect cute moments to happen. Oh, that's adorable.
I
Yeah.
was thinking this previous episode with the corpse weepers.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But the funny thing is, that
Evangelion
specific
flashbacks.
scene, there is like two frames that you can see how dark this anime can get.
When you see Rico kind of...
2 frames.
Mm.
And that's pretty much it. And it's done this before. I forgot where. But I know it did it once in like episode 2, I think, where it really showed this very, very subtle, dark, kind of gory tone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so subtle, and I think that is amazing how they did that.
I wonder if it's going to become more and more prevalent, a lot less subtle. These almost premonitions, if it keeps going on like this.
I'm hoping that it will.
Yeah, that'd
Especially
be-
after I saw, Zerio's
Our source
our
material.
source
guy.
material guy.
We're just going to have like one source material guy for each series.
It's so funny.
'Cause
But
I love it.
he posted a picture that was taken directly from the manga that corresponds to that scene,
of Rico getting
and it was so grotesque. Okay, maybe not grotesque, but
It was a lot more graphic in the manga than it was in the anime.
yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so these are the frames from the anime.
this is
yeah.
what happens when you listen to Judas Priest too much.
And I think he had posted it in discussions.
Oh, did he?
Previously. I just can't remember.
Mm.
It was a lot more gory in the manga.
It was a lot
is
more
what we're
gory.
saying.
It's
But
like the
you
face
could-
melting is more obvious. That's what happens when you listen to Spinal Tap at 11.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you also got to think in the manga, it's just a still image, so...
You have to
there's-
pick the most impactful one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
why I think that they did a fantastic job with it,
Yeah.
because it just hints.
Yeah.
Especially this early on.
A nice subtle hint's more appreciated than this full blown. Very good directorial, call that.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot better than the tune in next week narrator.
But yeah. Anyway,
Body horror.
So this series, It's funny though because if I'm scoring it, I got to cut the animation score into two different parts because I love the backgrounds. The backgrounds,
the world,
the monsters, the whole
Monsters
world, and
are really
everything is just absolutely gorgeous.
Studio Ghibli
The
quality.
characters are weird.
But that is an art style.
It's an art
That's an
style.
art
It
choice.
follows what the manga is, but so I kind of got to cut it in half. If I was going just off the backgrounds, I'd give it like a 9 or a 10.
Damn.
If I'm adding the characters in there, for me, honestly, it's like I'm cranking it more down to like 8, total.
Still pretty high though. I'm still above
It's
average.
still pretty high, but the kind of juxtaposition between what the characters look like and the backgrounds that they're
a
on
bit jarring.
is a bit jarring.
Mhm.
And that's actually what's turned off a lot of people about this series.
Which is a total shame because damn. I mean,
It needs, it really needs the attention. It deserves the attention.
Yeah, it's really good.
Deal with its cheapiness. Just deal with it. Trust me, it's pretty fun.
It's worth it.
It is worth it.
Anyway, moving along.
New Game Plus.
Or new game, 2 exclamation marks.
New Game
Fuck that,
Plus.
it's Plus.
New Game Plus.
There's 2 pluses in there.
New Game Plus.
You messed up on a great title.
It's like
Damn it, Dogakobo.
yeah, it's like a certain anime streaming service who's having a convention in our neck of the woods soon, not calling it CrunchyCon. Fuck you, pay us.
Right.
But yeah, they totally dropped the ball on that marketing opportunity.
Yeah, New Game Plus.
Or 2.0 Sleep Remix HD.
Let's not talk about Kingdom Hearts and all their bad.
So,
remake-
New Game Plus is pretty much exactly what I expected and wanted. It's just, hey, we're continuing. We're making
Minus
another game.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Okay, the new game that they're
That's really
working
gonna bug
on
you,
is
isn't
a
it?
little weird, but
It sounds like something Alba would come up with. It's an original concept.
right.
I mean, this is like, alright, Eagle Jump is like a cutesy version of Grasshopper. We come out with a really weird game studio here. The guys who did No More Heroes.
Oh yeah.
You know, their concepts are out there for the most part. At least the direction they're heading in. It's just, yeah. I love the game. I would totally play the game that they're working on. Truth be
But
told.
the only thing that I can think about is a Munzamon, and the only way that you can digivolve a Munzamon in one of the games is you have to shove a Numamon in a Munzamon suit.
But the new game that they're working on is totally Alba.
It
It's
is
totally
totally Alba.
sadistic as fuck.
The
I'm
sadistic
going to kill your
is-
friend and then wear their skin so that you can't tell that I'm not one of you.
just before I kill you. But it's so cute about it too.
There's this Alba watching the GIF of bear suit,
Oh.
bear suit.
It's
taunting
hilarious.
the deceased bear's friend. But again, it's so cute. You give it a pass. Alba would be the perfect serial killer.
I do like how we've gotten a pretty good blend of the different character stories too. It didn't just go back to okay, we're just gonna focus on Alba.
Right.
You know.
But,
or even, okay, we're just gonna focus on the animation team. It's really kind of stayed diverse as to
This is more about the team in general, like Ko's team, all around. I think.
Yeah, well, it's about the characters that we've been introduced to.
Yeah, it's kind of in the same spirit of Fate Apocrypha. It goes between character subplots very well.
Yeah.
And also that first episode and the Ko fan service. Good God, crank it up, keep the viewers watching. I didn't say Hifumi, but thank you.
Right.
The world needs more Hifumi. Oh
Right.
God.
It seems like everybody in our Discord chat is enamored with Hifumi.
Can you
But
blame
Ko's
them?
ass.
Yeah, that way. It's not really what it's about, though, huh? This season. As I forgot who said it earlier, but yeah, New Game Plus feels. kind of digging into, especially into Ko's backstory there, and her development from sort of shy, not so ambitious team member.
And poor Alba being like art director,
kind of thrust
art
into this
director
new-
light.
Well, she's kind of
Co-like.
the co-character designer.
Yeah,
not the art
yeah, well-
director.
She's co-light, basically.
Like lead character designer light, and
Yeah.
knows nothing about the other things that are involved with the character design.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 3D modeling with Hifumi. Yeah, it was.
It's one of those situations which I'm sure was true when Ko got the job too. She doesn't know enough about the profession.
Yeah.
She doesn't know enough about what all goes into her job, especially since she joined in halfway through a project. And she hasn't worked on anything else yet. She doesn't really know enough about the job in order to hold the position that she's been given because her concept was chosen.
Yeah, but as the series goes along, and from what we've seen so far, you're seeing her start to learn a wee bit. And you're going to continue to see that. And also, not just Alba being thrust into this responsibility, but just about everyone else when it comes to, like, say, helping Alba learn the ropes, or Hifumi sort of, like, develop herself. And actually, must be mentioned, Nene, I think, got the most character development so far. She was just an annoying comic relief character in the first season. You don't really get that in this new season. She's earnestly trying to become a programmer up to scratch to join Eagle Jump. And the turnaround, I think, was really sudden, but very welcome in her case.
It's like she got that taste as the intern,
And yeah, she wants more.
and then she just wants more.
There you
and
go.
so she decided. I think it's amazing that she has decided to go create her own game from scratch and just deal with it.
There you go. Yeah, and just learn the ropes. Like I said, her development, I think, is the best in the series right now because of that. It's such a big turnaround. Big difference.
Well, she's
from
one of
season
those few
weeks.
characters that has some development left as far as professionally.
Ah, okay.
Because most of the other characters are, like, good at what they do.
They're seasoned. I mean, even Alba, I was saying something.
Hifumi.
Fellas,
I still like
if you
the
believe in
Saga phone.
reincarnation, you'd want to be the clothes that Hifumi wears. All of that fashion stuff, though. Oh, good God.
Anyway,
Not so much on the comical fan service, even though it has its highlights, as we're seeing here, courtesy of Ghastly and Ko's ass in episode 1. Good God. Actually, they also had that hot tub.
yeah, but it's pretty much just like more of what I liked about the first season. It's just more of this.
Just needs more agahon.
Honestly, I think it has plenty. Like,
Okay.
it does a really good job of going between all the characters, so all the characters are getting a lot of screen time, which is good because I do like some of the more minor characters in this series.
There you go. Just for
But now it's not this anymore. It's
Or a flick of doom.
I don't know what hurts worse. And, if you look at me like that and all that, I wouldn't mind getting shot because that physical, damn. She doesn't look like she's about to kill you. She looks adorable. She's killing you with cuteness.
anyway.
I would totally airsoft with her.
Totally.
Anyway,
Anyhow.
I like it. It's... How do I want to put it?
Hmm.
It's, again, one of those series. I don't necessarily think of it as like a top series for this season, but it is enjoyable to watch every week.
Definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Still. And the hype train's still rolling from season 1, so yeah, we're definitely keeping on with it.
Anyway,
Alright, next up, Princess Principal. So we're a couple episodes behind on this one. But what we've seen so far,
Interesting concept.
very interesting concept. If I remember correctly, this is from the same director as Noir, another anime dealing with gun-toting girls. With
I like the
no-
animation in this.
Very much, yes. I love the blend of like traditional, like actual real world espionage that you sort of get also in, say, a Joker game. If you remember that one from a few seasons back. But also
It was like last year.
Yeah, last year. But also those occasions of, that over the top Hollywood style action. And
like a Hollywood style spy movie,
like,
where it's like
exactly.
Suddenly it's like
Bayhem.
Yeah, basically
Bayhem, gunfights, and all
everything that's not actual spy work.
And this steampunk world, I thought the Clockwork Planet had a decent world going for it. This blows that out of the water. Goddamn. This is just beautiful steampunk.
I do really like the world and its aesthetic.
I think the steampunk aesthetic in this series is on par with Steam Boy. I mean, it has more of the fantastical elements, like the Chorodite and all that stuff, but it's on par, if not exceeding, in some at moments.
Now, the only problem that I have with it, first off, the first episode was...
I felt that it didn't have a strong first episode.
It was like it felt like a flash forward or an immediate res. I don't know where to, because the entire episode was said immediate res. And then the second episode, without saying a word, it skips back to where everything started.
Right, to the big turning point of Operation Changeling.
Yeah, and before their spy club had gotten together.
So maybe
honestly, it did confuse me for like a whole episode where I was like, "What?"
To admit the process.
Yeah, it was like I thought it would have said something.
I thought it wasn't so much the first episode being in media res, whereas the second episode was more of a flashback.
That's where I thought it was going to.
But the problem with that thought is the third episode comes out and it's following on with a second episode.
Yeah. And as Fanta says here, Yojo Senki did the same thing. But I thought Yojo Senki made it a little bit more obvious. Especially since Yojo Senki was a little different because the second episode could go back to when Tanya was still a dude in the real world.
Yeah, well, with Yojo Senki,
so
you have being next being a literal Deus Ex Machina, really. So you can kind of, you could have a little more leniency with stuff like that. You don't really get that in Princess
I don't even
Principle.
think that was it. It was just the where the story starts is so much different from where the first episode was.
Okay.
That that it's that it's going back to where it began.
Yeah, the problem with Princess Principal and how they did it is I didn't find out that that's where the story was going until the third episode.
Now, apparently, according to Silent Euphorium, the general consensus is that Princess Principal isn't airing in chronological order at all.
So they're pulling a Haruhi with it, huh?
I don't know how much I like that, actually.
I didn't really... I guess we'll have to, if that is true, then we'll have to, determine a broadcast order then. Or a chronological order of episodes. So, yeah. Well, Bakemonogatari has so much going on that you could easily forget about, the order of events.
Well, we haven't watched episodes 4 or 5 yet, so we didn't know about that, but I don't know. I never... I'm not typically the kind of person that likes the out of chronological order airing.
Even though they're done on series we like the Monogatari series, or Melancholy Haruhi Suzumiya.
But the interesting thing about the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya is that when I watched it, I did watch it in chronological order. I did watch it in broadcast order once, but for the most part, when I've seen it, it's always been in chronological order, not broadcast order.
There you go.
And I like the chronological order better.
And with the anime that deals with time travel, it's a fun touch. But here, you don't get time travel. You don't get reincarnation in another world, like in Yojo Senki. It's just, I just there to throw the viewer off, I think. And as much, it seems to be like part and parcel with spy series in particular. Where they try to confuse the viewers, trying to piece everything together. But I wish they kind of lay off on that a little bit.
And the other thing that I want to point out is the heaviest of breadcrumbs that they have dropped. Or the heavy ways that they're dealing with Charlotte and Ange. At least up to the point that we're at right now. Where you don't actually know what's going on, but you almost know what's going on.
With like Operation Changeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what the whole motivation and goals are. It's not satisfying.
Yeah.
I think that's an apt description, Tanya.
It's so heavy-handed and so awkward.
It's like a bad hand job in a way.
It is. It's so weird.
You're happy that you're in the moment and getting it, but nothing. Yeah. No. You know where I'm heading with that.
Again, it's one of those things where it's like the series as a whole. I like it, but it's not one of those series that when it comes out every week, it's like, hey, we gotta sit down and watch this.
Right.
Which is why we're a couple episodes back on it, because it's like, okay, we have other things that we need to get done.
Oh, this week sucked anyway.
This week was poor Rizzo. No. How's your week in Destination Fuck, by the way? I'm talking no pillow, no reach around.
My work is trying to kill me.
Fuck. Work is the enemy. Don't work, kids.
Anyway.
Go into business for yourself or get rich somehow.
Anyway, moving along.
Recreators. Oh my god, best recap episode ever.
Recreators is a big disappointment for me for this half.
I have got to agree.
I gotta agree. I was trying to distract myself with sexy
Okay,
Miura,
well, first
but
we get that recap episode for episode 13, which actually ended up being pretty amusing, pretty good.
But I think that
funny
was
As far as recap episodes go.
Funny enough, has made it to the top 20,
right.
top 20th watched video on our channel.
Now, in terms of Recreators, it was our most viewed episode, and I have to agree. In this part of the story, I'm sad to say, I think that was the best episode so far.
But then after that, all we're getting is planning for Operation Birdcage.
Prepare the preparations. Because I wanted to say that.
We get a little bit of, what's his name, Shota?
What's his nuts?
We get a little bit of Shota, being like, oh, I'm useless, I want to do something. Okay, here, you can do something. Okay, I'm going to do something. But we never actually see him do it.
Oh, by the way, I got a driver's license.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Let's see with the driver's license.
And
Scary
then,
thought.
and then we have to take a week off because they're taking a week off and they're airing, like, Seiyu specials. And then we get a week where it's fan service, explaining something that has already been explained, and then we're launching the final.
So episode 14 was not prepare the preparations. It was prepare for the preparations.
Then it was prepare the preparations.
And basically, let's go ahead and get this started. That's where we ended.
Cliffhanger.
And then we get another week.
week.
Yeah, last weekend we got another week off.
I thought it was another Seiyu special.
Exactly.
Oh.
It was another Seiyu special. They took another week off. Yes, prepare the
Combo breaker.
preparations.
Oh, man. This is like a wombo combo of series planning fail.
Yeah, I just feel that this, like, the first half was good, and then everything that we've seen so far in the second half is like,
I kind of want to try, after all this is said and done.
don't push me.
Altair is like a wombo combo of character creation fail. Where you at?
I actually want to see what would happen if you took out the last 2 episodes and watched those 20 episodes.
Wait, those 2 episodes. So
No, these
That's
previous
actually-
two episodes where
Right.
they're like preparing the preparations.
right, and Shoto's trying to be useful and all that, and then just watch everything that came before it.
Well, like,
No, watch
so
everything that came before it.
don't watch the recap.
Don't
Right.
watch the recap.
Don't watch the latest episode.
Right, that little.
Or
So this little middle section here, cut it out.
watch one of the last 2 episodes. Just one of them, because like we said, it is preparing the preparations. And in the most recent episode, we do get the start
Start
of the festival.
Elimination Chamber Festival.
So that is kind of important.
By the way, WWE, now's the time to sue.
Right. But yeah, basically watch the whole first half.
Mm-hmm.
Watch one of the
Amazing.
Prepare the Preparations episodes, probably this most recent one,
Mm-hmm.
and then watch probably the rest of the series,
We can only hope.
and see if these previous 13, 14, 15, and then the 2 Seiyu specials. So that's 5 weeks, almost about 1.5 months worth of stuff
Cancer.
that you could probably cut out of the series and you wouldn't really miss anything.
Because the funny thing is, I'm not sure if we had a conversation about it in the last episode or if this was completely off screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we were talking about the length of this series is so weird.
Yeah.
And right now, it feels like it's too stretched. But previously, it felt like it was perfect in its adaptation, or its
Pacing.
going
Pacing.
from what the director wanted in his head and making sure that everything is known and the audience is with you 100% of the time. The last few episodes, you don't really get that.
Yeah, there was a spot there, I guess when they were getting ready to air that, well, at this point, yeah, that sort of tumor of episodes right there. Something went wrong on the production side. That's what
I don't want to say that because because from the get-go, we were told that this is a 22 episode series. 22. Not 26 and not 12 or 14. 22. And if you take 2 episodes out of that, the recap episode and one of the prepare the preparation episodes, that is a 20 episode series.
Which still, kind of falls out of rhythm, though. with the
It's
season.
completely out of rhythm. But the weird thing is I think that a 20 episode series, with how much may or may not go into this, might be a better timeline for this series. So I honestly think that where, yes, the last couple episodes were to try to stretch some time so that they can kind of fit it into this season, to this weird,
Normally they'd call that filler.
well,
Had to
yeah,
be effort in.
It kind of is.
I know. But
That's
just
what I'm
had
saying.
We
But-
had to bring the effort into it, though.
It's filler, even though it's an original series.
and that's what's so weird about it. And the other odd thing is, there really are story plots mixed in with all the filler that you kind of got to pay attention to. Like Megane talking with Alice, or Shota possibly bringing out with a new character, or coming out with something completely different.
Oh, yeah, or Altair becoming even more OP with her new power.
And then we did get, like I said, at the very end of the last episode, we got the start of this whole thing. So I mean, there's stuff that needs to be known.
But they kind of hid those gems in a pile of shit.
I do believe so, and it is taking its toll on me, who was a huge fan so much. I got a Celestia pillow. I got a Celestia keychain.
He popped his Dakimakura cherry with Celestia. Come on now. Big time fan here. At the same time, though, I do love how they address it. And thank you, Kula, for bringing up one of the best fourth wall breaks I've seen in anime.
Yeah, I don't know. I still enjoyed the recap episode just because it was different and funny in the way that they presented it.
Best filler episode I've seen.
Really,
since
honestly,
yeah.
for me, it feels like the second half they just shit the bed. Really,
I don't
it's
know.
bad. It has not entertained me.
The only way that this could come out on top is if what episode are we on? 16?
17 should be the one coming out next week.
So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 6 episodes. So the next 6 episodes, you blow me the fuck away.
It's plenty of time to do it. I mean, we've already started the Elimination Chamber.
Basically, you had 5 weeks to catch up on any and all animation budgets, animation time crunches, anything like that, to make sure that the next 6 weeks were fucking phenomenal. That is the only way that I could stand what we've been through for the past month.
So just like the story, it now comes down to this.
Yeah.
Interesting. And also, given this situation we find ourselves in, and also given the Meteor's soliloquy here, or her aside from episode 13, do you think, quite possibly, that they made this recent stretch of episodes disappointing on purpose?
No.
Yes.
Do it. All right, 2 different agreements here. Okay. I'm just starting.
I can't imagine that they would do something like that on purpose. Especially with basically episode 14, 15, and 16, and then having the say specials in between.
Okay.
They haven't been good. They haven't been up to par with what the rest of the series was. So
Okay.
I'm more of the opinion of no.
Zero, what are your thoughts?
So, 14 was the filler, right? Or was that? No, it was 13.
13 was the recap.
filler.
13 was the recap.
Smacks me.
And then right after that, we got the main story development. Right after that, we got character development for mostly authors, which was kind of boring, and prepare the preparations. And then last week's episode was a lot of fan service.
All right. So, but what makes you think that this was purposely done?
Because of those 2 concepts.
The fact that they did include development in what would otherwise be just a pure filler episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of that, like I said, if
reading that chat here.
this is going from the director, who I think the director is also the same director who did Fate.
Was it?
Fate Zero or something like that.
Vaseline says yes. Same director.
So, with that in mind, I know that there is a lull. There is a definite lull in Fate Zero, and then it ramps back up to this really epic crescendo that passes all the way to the end.
Okay.
That's going off past experience with the director.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, I'm not going to say either or, but again, thinking back to episode 13, I can at least theorize it. And, because of Meteor's speech in episode 13, I swear this is going to be the most important episode of the series at this rate.
Right?
But you get the feeling that this whole crew They're mavericks. They're going to do their own thing. I've never seen such a brilliant takedown of anime critics before in all my years of watching anime. I mean, they basically just bitch slapped us with that. It's like, you know what? We're here. We're going to do our own thing. The anime is not ruined. Screw you if you say it is. You know, and they're just going to keep going their own direction. And that's why I feel confident that they could pull off a move like this if they wanted to do it.
And that's why I think we can argue this point, but we really need to move on.
We do, yes.
But if what you say is true, Meteor was a liar. Because
I don't get how you're getting that, but I think we should just move on.
Yeah.
We've talked about this enough. We're already an hour and a half into this podcast, and we haven't even talked about all of the Green series.
well, we got 2 more series to go. 2 more Green series to go, and then we can run through all of our other series. Anyway.
So, next up,
Yeah.
something that has not been a disappointment to me.
Oh, good
No.
God. It's gotten better.
Shingeki no
Mappa.
Bahamut Virgin Soul.
Mappa.
Bahamut.
I will admit the animation in this one's not as good as Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis was, especially with like 3D. There's been some really wonky 3D.
Especially with the
But with character interactions of this caliber, really,
I feel
who
like the writing
cares?
hasn't gone downhill.
no.
I know. I think it's gotten better.
But the hippogriff is cringy.
The hippogriff is really cringy in this one.
I honestly don't care about the hippogriff. This does not suffer sequelitis. That was my biggest concern coming into this season. I'm like, okay, you know they're going to reintroduce Favreau and Kaiser and Jean and everyone we got to meet in Genesis. Yeah, you know, is this still going to be a good story? The answer is, oh yes, oh gods, yes. Absolutely wonderful. And then you add in Nina. Good God, she is the life of this party. Which was already pretty well lit to begin with, but god damn,
And this weird Romeo and Juliet thing that's going on.
the star-crossed romance between her and Cheerios, and they finally hook up.
But it's
And you know it's gonna get worse for them because of the rest of the conflict that we have to watch.
so weird and so cute but painful and
Yeah,
man.
moe as fuck.
Yeah, and then I like how recently they've been adding some more depth into Cheerios' character, where now you don't know exactly what he's doing.
I have no idea.
He's not just that stone-faced tyrant we were introduced to. He does a decent job of switching between emotions, perhaps, but that little bit of extra complexity makes him a better character. And it's going to make for a really nasty plot twist, I'm sure. Or
Probably,
two,
yeah.
dozen, before the series is out anyway.
I'm going out on a limb and guessing that their love story is not going to end well.
No.
Someone has to die.
Someone has to die, or the split-up's going to be nasty. Something. But god damn. I don't know. This might be one of my top series of the whole seasons.
It's the same vein as Fate. It's just there.
It's
Awesome.
it's not going to disappoint, and it hasn't.
Nope.
Not by a long shot.
Nope.
It is awesome.
It's
and
like,
Nina, though, good god, so cute and silly and just
before we started the season, before we started Virgin Soul, we were like, there's this weird quality that we have found. We got the 1 through 10, and then we got Bahamut, and that hasn't faded. Honestly.
Anime's on a whole nother level.
Yeah. And still just surprising that it's based off of a card game.
Mobile card game and all that. Throw that rule of thumb out the window. Or
Right.
I threw everything before and whatever.
Anyway,
Have fun with that one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then the last of our Green series, the ones that we
That we
do
collectively
regular
watch.
filming for, we have Yokoso Jitsuryoku Shijo Shugi no Kyoshitsu A, or Classroom of the Elite is what the official English title is.
Mm.
Yeah, poor man Snafu.
Poor man Snafu.
I like this series. Obviously, we like it because we basically switched it from one of the series that we live stream because we don't want to take the time to actually record it to a series that we actually record.
Yeah, I got a promotion because it is really that damn good.
Well, I
Very
wouldn't say that it's damn good, but it is good. Like,
That episode 1 plot twist. I mean, you knew it was coming, but they still pulled it off a plumb.
My first, the first impression when we watched the first episode, it was really hard for me to put it, to differentiate this one between this and, well, more the characters of this, because the stories are nowhere near the same.
Okay.
But the characters of this and the characters from Origairu, as many people have equated it to. Because the characters from Origairu are so damn good. They're so damn well written. For me, when we were watching the first episode, I was sitting there going, man, these main characters are flat. They suck.
Mm.
But when I stopped comparing the two,
It gets a lot better.
my opinion of the series got a lot better.
I totally agree. I'm definitely in the same boat with that. It did, yeah, alright. It did take a little bit of time for, I guess, to sort of drop that comparison. But if you go into it without that comparison, I think, yeah, it's going to be really
I
good
think it was a
first
major
impression.
mistake for me to have that comparison in my head when we watched the first episode.
Actually, I have not seen Origairu
Yet.
yet, but I have seen Assassination Classroom.
Oh, yeah, another school drama done by Lorche that deals with sort of classism.
I want to say that I think that Assassination Classroom has much more character to their characters than this does, and I can totally see where you are coming from when you say that these characters are flat.
Yeah.
Okay, especially, alright, if you compare the two, then that's for sure. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you compare it to any other large cast anime, I mean, Fate, huge cast, they're flat. They're not as well rounded at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say, you could tell that the characters weren't, are kind of flat. So when we went into the first episode, expecting a new type of Origairu, at least for me and DK.
Spiritual successor.
Yeah, spiritual successor
Sort
type
of.
thing. When I heard that and that's what I was expecting, it was it's almost like whoever wrote this saw Origairu and went, I like these three characters. Let me try to put them in my story, except they're not nearly as talented as Wataru Watari at creating characters. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Somebody who's not very talented at making characters, trying to, copy these characters.
And yeah, especially with the most recent episode we saw, there is still a depth to these characters. I'm starting to think maybe I tried to copy paste our main trio from Origairu, but made them a hell of a lot darker.
It is very dark. It is a very dark series.
But could you honestly say that you didn't see it coming?
Oh, the big Yonder flip?
Yeah. Can you
No, not
honestly
really.
Can you honestly tell me that you did not see that coming a mile away from from the second you met her?
Something was up.
You knew something was up. And lo and behold, something's up. And that's why I think that it's not rounded enough. They're still very predictable. And that's why I think it kind of falls flat.
It's very enjoyable.
It's still
Obviously.
thoroughly enjoyable, but I do want to make that apparent that
The characters aren't exactly like the best written characters that I've seen.
But yeah, like the rest of it, the concept's fun. Although that's pretty crap sack world.
Yeah.
Crappier than
again,
most
a crap sack world. Crap sack school.
It certainly makes you intrigued on what's going on, what's actually going on, especially with the main character. The main character is probably the only one that you have to wonder about. Because he has so much to do with, like, in the most recent episode, he like got into a fight with somebody, totally like kicked dude's ass out of nowhere. Or was that?
He's a mysterious character.
Yeah.
It was kind of at the end of the previous one and the beginning of the most recent one that we watched. There is an episode out that we haven't watched yet. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's one of those. I'm enjoying it, but it's probably one of the lower character scores that I would have to give any of the series that we're watching. Like, any of the green series that we're watching.
Yeah.
So now we can finally move on to the yellow series.
The ones we don't care about nearly as much.
Yeah, the ones that we're live streaming, the ones that we don't want to spend too much time on, so we should be able to run through this pretty quickly, especially given the fact that a lot of these were, are 1 to 2 person live streams anyway.
1 to 2 person live streams, some of them are not going to be watched again.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and run through these.
We have one that's over. I'm only watching Aho Girl as far as I remember.
Actually, no.
No, you've watched actually quite a few of these, so stop being lazy, you fat fuck.
18F.
18F.
Alice on steroids.
I'm not sure if this would be more enjoyable on drugs or more incomprehensible on drugs.
18 what the fuck.
Yep. 18 what the fuck, yeah.
That's what this title should be named. And
basically Inception, right?
we've only watched 2 episodes.
Dude goes into dreams. In this case, it's to save people who have the, what do they call it? The Sleeping Beauty illness or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's what it is.
Inception, the anime.
Pretty much.
Have to.
Although it's not as I guess spy-y.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward in how it is, like how it's presented. It's, okay, this week we have this person who has the Sleeping Beauty illness.
And you gotta kind of.
And you gotta go figure out what's wrong with her.
So yeah, it doesn't make you think as much.
Favor, yeah. I do have to say the second episode was not nearly as mindfucky as the first episode.
Also,
And
it's a
really
game adaptation,
gave the main character, the main dude, like an actual 3D personality. Like, he's not just good, only good, I can only do good. Because
he is very morally gray in the second episode.
Yeah, he went way morally gray in the second episode, and I love it. Hopefully we can get back to it, because I really do want to finish it, kind of like we did with Flip Flappers, because it's weird, but we just gotta find time for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, that's something I did not watch.
Action Heroine Cheer Fruits.
I thought it would be something you would watch.
Yeah, I know. Like, it seems like something that I would watch, but apparently Zero watched it.
Something that I would never watch, but I found some GIFs on our Discord here amusing, so I decided to give the first episode a try. It was very cringy, but at the same time, rather enjoyable. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it or not.
It just feels like a big dose of moe blob, was it?
Sort of, but it was fun because like the first episode, it ended up being two girls deciding to have like a LARP session cosplaying as this magical girl, and her main bad guy for a group of kindergartners who didn't get to see a live show of said magical girl because
You know, based off what you said and what I read in the description for this, it kind of reminds me of Local Doll. If anybody remembers that series.
But I thought it was fun. Like I said, cringy, kind of cute.
It's a quote-unquote idol series. Quote-unquote.
Twice for emphasis.
And that's
Suckers.
why I don't know if I'm going to continue watching it because it was really cringy for me. I don't know. I might give at least episode 2 a try, but again, we gotta have time for it.
Yeah.
Gotta have time for it. Gotta be in the mood for it.
Yeah. Continuing on.
All right. I can
We
actually
have
look up
Aho
this one.
Girl.
Aho Girl. Oh, good God.
This series is really funny.
Definitely in contention for one of the best openings of the year.
Oh, I love Angela. Like, I love every song that I've ever heard her do for anime.
But this
This
what was
one
it,
is really
Full
fucking
Power
good.
Summer.
This one's really fucking amazing.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Tomokazu Sugita as the straight man. Comedy gold right there.
And one of those series that has the slapstick humor of male on female slapstick humor, which is not something that you see very often because of the whole abuse thing. But fuck, Yoshiko deserves it.
Every ounce of it.
Every fucking ounce of it.
And it's played off just so comically.
Yeah,
Good
it's
God.
played off really well, but I do have to wonder if the reason why she's such an idiot is because he's killed so many of her brain cells by hitting her in the head.
No, you see her mom, she's just as stupid.
No, that is a good point.
It runs in the family.
Rip.
Anyway, it's a good series. I'm going to continue watching it. It's very
For
funny.
sure. Hilarious. I mean, guaranteed laughs.
Unfortunately, we have to name it as something different.
Because, yeah.
Damn copyrights.
And
Anyway.
now for something completely different.
You're still on that shit? Oh, damn. I thought you dropped it.
No, we did.
No, we did.
Oh,
but we
did.
have to talk about it.
Oh,
Remember, we have to talk
That's a
about
joke.
it.
All right. Battle High School. Wannabe Idol series, mega cringe, insta drop, the end.
Didn't like the animation. Didn't
Ant
like
Verge
how
2.0.
Didn't like how any of the characters' development went. It was
You mean lack thereof?
yeah.
It reminded me, like, I mean, I think we literally titled the episode Ant Verge 2.0.
There
Actually,
you
no.
go.
We titled it Ange Verge Episode 3.
3.
Oh, did we? Ant Verge episode 3. It's like, it really reminded me of that. It's like, hey, we have all these characters, and they're going to be kicking ass, and here's them talking about going and kicking ass.
How?
The
Why?
only-
Who cares?
The only difference was Ange Verge masked all that shit with fan service. Which is the only thing that I can say that was a plus for watching Battle Girl High School. Is not having to deal with that gratuitous fan service that was...
They just put the same shit in a different bowl, I think. They tried to cover this one up as a school idol
Well,
series.
it's the same shit, different day, different series, but
It's still shit.
it's not... It's a little bit more consumer-ready shit. I think.
By the way,
Polish a turd,
to
it's still a
to
turd.
point it out, it is by Silverlink, which is the...
Right. Oh, Pancho! Anyway.
But yeah, it is by Silverlink, who did Ange Verge, and honestly, you know, basing something else off of a game like they did Ange Verge, it does feel like they're just trying to cash in money.
Yeah.
Silverlink has done some fantastic series in the past, but
Bakken Test, Rakata Kishi.
then they have series like Ange Verge and Battle
Yeah.
Girl High School, and they're just shit. I don't know. Like, I used to see Silverlink and go, "Hey, this is probably going to be a good series." Now I see Silverlink and go,
Hit or miss. You gotta find out. When they hit, they hit well, but this
When
is
they
not one of
miss,
them.
they miss horribly.
Speaking of misses, Centaur no Naomi.
Ah, finally, the anime that freed me from the yoke of fucking Howliners.
Yeah, I don't ever want to watch another Howliners production.
How do you screw up Slice of Life? They apparently cracked that code.
To be fair, that was apparently the manga's fault. However, that was really bad.
Yeah.
And also, what a shitty world. Like the world that they're in, where if you make a joke about other, demi-humans, then you could go to prison.
It's like
You
Monster
could go to a hard labor
Musume.
camp.
It's like Monster Musume had a baby with an SJW queen,
Ugh, that's horrifying.
and they took over the world with it.
Ooh.
Oh man,
It's-
that's a horrible image.
Bad. Like, that's pretty much all I can think about. Is just that the amount of political correctness to deal with.
Is that like the studio's take on the Chinese government, perhaps, or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's
I don't want that kind of social commentary in Moe Blob anime.
I mean, I don't mind the social. I don't mind the social commentary in Moe Blab anime as
Or
long
as-
as it's palatable.
Well, I mean, also as long as I'm not able to draw a real world parallel. Too bad. Like, say in Monster Musume, you can't because they explain it a little bit better, and they play it off more comically. Not being able to basically mate. With
Until
all the
they decide
monsters.
that it's okay.
Yeah, until the law until the law passes, really.
Yeah.
But normally if you get a little kissy situation with me or anyone else, then you get Agent Smith coming in and busting everything up. You have your laugh, you go about you go your merry way. But yeah, you don't get that bit of humor in this one.
They do play it off as more of like a scary. Hey,
Authoritarian,
you're gonna go to a what was it?
Like a
Correctional clinic,
correctional clinic.
a hard labor camp. You're
Yeah.
gonna go to a hard labor camp.
And your family's gonna get shot, and you're gonna live in the gulag the rest of your life.
Yeah, right.
Because commie bastards. I'm sorry. That was very Jeremy Clarkson of me, but good God,
That's honestly what it felt like
Yeah.
in the second half of the first
that's
episode.
That's North Korea. There we go. There we go. This is a North Korean anime.
Right? Like,
Even
wow.
worse.
But like, the animation really didn't pique my interest.
At least it's better than North Korean animation.
I didn't really like where any of the story was going. I didn't really connect with any of the characters, and it just seemed so curveball out of nowhere, so painful. I don't know if I can watch a second episode.
I know I can't.
Right.
It's an instant
People
drop.
tell us that we should. One of us might just have to power through to say yay or nay, but I doubt it because we don't really have the time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the
Ah,
series
their
where it's
desire.
like I can't imagine to spend the time on it. I don't know if it would be beneficial for us to spend the time on it, which is why we haven't watched the second episode. And to be honest, I don't really like. I think that we should just drop it. Like,
Yeah, for
just
me
wasn't
personally,
good.
instant drop, and I am done with Howliners forever. No.
Yeah,
To
pretty
hell,
much.
to hell with them, I say.
yeah,
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Unless there comes out an anime where they are absolutely fucking platinum on everything.
But again, I mean, that's the reason why I kept saying, like, this is their last chance. This is
'Cause
as
it's hard
level
to-
one.
It's hard to fuck up.
as
Slice of
simple
life.
as you get, yeah. Even when it's almost like pizza, in a way. When it's bad, there's still something good to say about it, and they fucked up.
Well, it's funny because Slice of Life, you'd think that they couldn't fuck up because you don't necessarily have to have a coherent story in it. It can be just different
Every
episodes,
day,
you
yeah.
know? But,
They found a way to do so.
yeah, they found a way to do so. Like, Slice of Life series at least have to have a beginning. You can't just start in the middle of a story.
Which is what
Which
they did.
apparently is what they did in the manga, so I can't necessarily blame Howliners for it.
Mm.
But the director should have seen that and gone, you know what, we should do something different.
Take a liberty with it.
Yeah, take a liberty to change this up real quick.
Just to make it make sense.
Just to make it make sense.
Or if you
I mean,
really
you-
want to do a
you
Slice of Life
attempted
series,
to make Blood of Wars make sense. At least give us that.
and it did for like a couple minutes. Actually, Getting No Guardian made much more sense
Right?
for an episode or two. But no, it's actually hurting my side.
Yeah, anyway, we should move
Anyway,
on.
we should move
Hajime
on.
no Gal was fucking hilarious.
Okay,
That hoe, she's not really a hoe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a series that you have to watch the uncensored version that airs on ATX. Like, I cannot imagine watching this with all the censorship. Hajime de no Gal is a mess series for me because I don't really like the main character that much.
Mm.
He's kind of a spineless wimp.
He is walking cringe.
And I also don't like any of the female characters that much.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Mostly the
they're
design.
all big boobs.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. Basically, you could definitely see the author's preference coming through. Let's say
It is very much a fan service series and
It
almost nothing
almost
else.
reminds me of like Triage X or High School of the Dead, where you know what the author's preference is.
Mm. But at least, well, they're... Yeah, that's just there in the character design. It's just a par or slightly subpar action series. Mainly. This is just all fan service.
Yeah, I mean, this show exists for the fans.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I mean, pretty much every episode you're going to get the main character having a sexy imagination,
Well, and boys, is a sexy imagination.
getting the complete wrong idea,
Mm-hmm.
being teased by Yame,
Mm-hmm.
getting the real situation, and, a resolution to that.
There you go.
That's basically what you're going to get with this.
Very
series.
strict
And then
formula.
on the side, you realize you get this little character development by Yukina.
Yame?
Yame.
Yeah.
Do you get this weird realization that she's actually into the dude a little bit?
She's actually into the guy. She's not actually a whore, like everybody apparently thinks that.
She's not
the
bad. She's just
gals
drawn
are.
that way.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Had to. I don't know. Even Three Stooges shorts have a bit of a story to them.
Okay. Yeah. The thing that brings it down most of all for me is the main character's friends.
Oh, God.
They are such douchebags.
They are the anti-bros.
Yeah, they really are.
They live to break the bro code every chance they get. Damn.
They are the worst kind of people imaginable.
I am not friends with the people that I used to know like that,
Mm.
and it didn't take me long to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-bros.
Anti-bros.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a tier below douchebag.
Pretty much. So, anyway, I think it's one that we're going to continue, but that's just because it is amusing and there is a lot of fan service.
Yeah, we
Again,
just need to- we
it's
just need
entirely a guilty pleasure.
Roll into it and get on with it. I don't know. I kind of want to get that into a more recording schedule because it's really amusing, and I think all of us are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Unlike the next one,
Unlike the... Oh.
So,
which
yeah.
is very, very, very weird.
Hentai writer for the win, yes.
Isekai
moving
wa
on.
smartphone Totomo ni.
The Adventures of Gary Stew.
This started out as a recording series for us. It has now moved into a live streaming series
It
for
got
us.
demoted.
It got demoted.
Now, the weird thing about this one is It's so much fun, but in the weirdest way. Because we love just tearing it apart.
It's a really bad series, but it's kind of enjoyable.
Almost like Knights and Magic. In that
But this
respect.
In a
is
different
so
way.
worse.
Yeah.
This is so much worse.
Whereas we rip apart Knights and Magic for its lack of. Actually, no, yeah, we rip apart both series for their lack of good storytelling. Really.
This one doesn't even have good characters.
Right, the characters are all flat. Like the main character, oh, I died. I want to bring my smartphone with me. Okay, I reincarnated.
And by the way, your
What?
smartphone.
You mean you
Uber
want to buy
hacks.
my clothes for a lot of money? Okay, I'm rich now.
No struggle whatsoever. No conflict whatsoever. All his companions, perfect submissive women. No struggle whatsoever. I have to call bullshit on that. But
What?
Yeah.
I can use all the types of magic?
Cool.
Super effectively, I might add.
How many episodes are we in?
And the
there's
animation,
no struggle.
yeah, and the
whatsoever.
animation is bad. Like it's just. bleh.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have much of the technical aspects going for it either.
And that's why it's so much fun to rip on. I'm not sure when we might get back to this,
Whenever we're in the mood for self-flagellation.
but yeah, this is one of those series that I wouldn't mind just getting completely wasted and just letting loose on it and just tearing it to shreds. Because it's that kind of series.
That sounds
It's
like fun.
it's so dumb.
So dumb.
But yeah,
So
that's-
deviant art quality.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like it does almost feel like a bad first attempt at writing, and some dumbass editor went, let's publish this.
Look,
It's a
I
unique
made
story, but
I said this in the first episode. I made a D&D campaign where nobody died. And I specifically wanted no one to die. And it got so out of hand that I had to restart the whole game. But the travel in that storyline was actually fun for everybody involved. And in the end, I turned it into absolute hell on earth and completely blew, like, I really had to crash this party in the worst way possible.
right, because you had the creativity of the players kind of contributing.
Yeah,
It's like the story of Rock Soup, if you ever heard that.
yeah.
But this, no.
And
it's-
that D&D campaign was Gary Stu, Mary Sue to the max with everybody who was involved.
It's just that they fuck it up themselves.
And that had a better storyline than this.
This is Rock Soup, but the guy's on his own. There's
Yeah.
no village he goes to.
Yeah. That's how bad this
that's
was.
that's how bland this is.
It is really bland.
And by the way, that D&D campaign that I was talking about was something that I did when I was 17.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, one more comment about this. I mean, I can't even call it a poor man's Konosuba. Like you're suggesting, Metacoola. No.
Because that would
Don't-
be insulting Konosuba.
Yeah. No. Don't make that comparison.
broke man's Konosuba.
Not even. It's just.
Again,
It's just bad. It's
I
not
know.
good. Like there's nothing redeemable about it.
Dead man's Konosuba.
No, it sounds like somebody heard of Konosuba through like a fifth party, and then decided that they wanted to try to write something like it.
Oh, no. Here. I got one. It's someone who's like well, I'm not gonna say his name, but his name rhymes with Mijiho. It's like someone like that watching Konosuba. You're seeing it through their eyes, just devoid of anything enjoyable.
no. watching ReZero through their eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not Konosuba, because Konosuba is meant to be a comedy.
Well, yeah, it's meant to be a parody.
Yeah.
I thought this was like more comedic than ReZero as well, because there's no actual struggle. ReZero is all about the struggle.
I mean, it's labeled as a comedy, but I don't see any sort of comedy in there. Like, it takes itself way too seriously.
There's just a few cheap jokes, but
And that's why I think it's a much better comparison to make it a completely ass knockoff.
oh, okay. So that's where you're
Chinese
going. A Chinese
ass
knockoff of ReZero.
of ReZero.
Oh wow. That totally gets it wrong.
Anyway, yeah, this series sucks. So, moving along.
Indeed.
Something that I did not watch.
So no, we watched a wee bit of.
Yep.
Chika no Shihaisha. Did not say that with a speech impediment.
Chrono
It'd be too
Rulers.
funny. Chrono Rulers.
We only watched a few episodes of this, but the premise is fun.
Premise is fun. Love the combat.
And
Absolutely love the combat scenes.
it's weird because, like,
Good
So-
elements and bad elements.
we
I can agree with
we
that.
talk a lot about how episode 1 is the hooker, right?
Yeah, brings you in, makes you hyped, to watch the rest of the series.
And then episode 2 is that you already got us like out of the water and into a tank, and you're starting to feed us everything that's going on
Mhm.
and getting us into the real meat of the situation.
Right.
You don't really get that until the end of episode 2.
Like the real tail end.
Yeah,
We see that big
it's really weird because like
monster.
it's based off a manga, which I thought it was based off a game.
It would make an awesome game, I think.
Because at the very end of episode 2, it's almost like you're released from the tutorial of a game.
Here we go. Yeah, the big, well, at least for what we can tell, a big bad,
Yeah.
maybe a Lancer or something, makes their appearance. And then here you go, game on. Yeah.
So, kind of like the first couple episodes, you were on rails, and then after that, it kind of.
Yeah, at the very end of episode 2, it completely derails from everything, almost everything previous. But
It's pretty detached, yeah.
you're really led down a path, and then all of a sudden the path opens up to a field, and you are just go any direction you want, almost. Like, kind of a general direction of where it's going, but I honestly don't know where it's going, because it just left me with so many questions, and I actually love it. That being said, it is kind of weird to have that kind of story going through 2 episodes instead of 1.
Yeah, normally the formula would be that you kind of take care of that in your first episode. Kind of really set up at least show the real conflict here.
And
Actually, by that logic, I think it would have made more sense for the episodes to be switched.
almost.
I mean, just put like an introduction to our characters. Dang it, was it Yuri? I'm sorry, I totally forgot their names there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, I mean, introduce them. Have the big bad appear. Putin, that's it. And there was another Russian name.
Wu and Victor.
Wu and Victor.
Victor's the father. Wu's the son.
Totally not brothers, as one would think at first.
Yeah.
Nice little plot twist there, especially with the time eating story story element, which I do like. Very Doctor Who of them.
But the only other thing that I don't like about this series is the relationship between Victor, Rue, and Mina is so venomous and nasty. It's kind of hard to watch. Other than that, we really should get back to this series because I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do like toxic character interactions, you got to be a little more, I guess, subtle with it. Konosuba, Sayuki, they do that well. They do it very well. This one, not so much. I think they tried to kind of cram that in there to make it a little more Fujoshi baity. I kind of got that feel in episode 2. So that's also kind of points against the series for me. But, with how they've done it so far, there's still generating a bit of hype for the story going forward. Especially as the Putin, fathered-son combo learn to use their powers more effectively. It's called Promise of Time or something.
Yep.
I'm sorry, it has been a while. Totally forgot it. Or a lot of details, but...
The next one was Katsugeki Token Rambu.
All you, bud.
Which somebody forced Zero into watching.
It was alright. That's about all I could really say.
Ouch.
Animation was good.
It's
Story-
affordable after all.
Yeah.
Story was alright, but kind of hard to follow. I didn't find any of the characters really interesting.
Well, I guess that's an improvement over the previous Token Rambu series.
Yeah.
No gayness.
Kind of wish there was a little bit more diversity in the crew that was offered. I don't think I'm going to be continuing.
And that's it.
And that's that.
So moving on with something that DK and I watched.
And I
Kapeki
say-
Danshi Aoyama-kun.
And why? Why did I watch this? Why the fuck did I watch this?
That was weird. It's... Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's-
like the first episode was strange. We only watched 2 episodes of it. First episode was strange, but everybody told me that the second episode was better, so I watched the second episode, and the first half of it was fine. Like the story of the girl that stalks Aoyama
It was better than the first episode.
was
that's
fine,
for sure.
but the second half of it just turned me so off on that series. Like the bit with the rest of the soccer team
Sniffing
trying to
his shirt.
sniff his towel.
Or yeah, just whatever.
The only reason why I know that is because after I heard about it, it gave me nightmares.
It was so fucking cringy.
I honestly think we were trolled into watching that second episode.
All right.
It was that bad, and yeah, drop. No, fuck this series.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, basically, long story short, I'm dropping the series and I'm not watching any more episodes of it.
I need to clean myself of this series. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Koitu Uso. Next up.
Koitu Uso.
That's y'all's.
We're actually quite behind on this series, but I do like it a lot.
And we only got up to episode 2 on it.
Normies go die.
But I really do like all of what's going on in the series. It's so painful at the same time too. I don't know how else to put it.
I like how they set up the girl that he's engaged to. I like how they set her up where it's not just like a almost forced love interest, at least at first. Because usually with a series like this, it would be, oh, well, they have to anyway, so she's totally into it, or whatever. In this, or, they set it up so that, she's pissed that he has another girl that he likes. In this, they set it up to, well, she's not really into it either, and now she's interested in, in meeting this other girl, because she wants to know what love is.
I want to know
What love is.
So, I do gotta say that that's kind of refreshing for a series like this.
Fist bump for Foreigner. Fuck yeah.
Fist bump for picking up what I was putting down.
Yep.
So, I'm looking forward to getting back to this series when we can live stream again. We'll have to find a time to do it.
Okay, next up, all you, Rizzo.
That's all me. Kombini Koreshi.
Second episode was weird.
Crap.
Oh, you both watched it.
He watched the second episode.
Crap.
Yeah, it's crap. It's boring crap. I actually honestly only did the second episode because people liked my reaction to the first episode. Because I was cracking jokes the entire time, but it's really not that great of a series, and to be honest, since we're on the time crunch, I'm probably not even going to get back to it. Like, that's just straight up how I feel about it. It's not that good.
Next.
It's just
Have it down.
we only watched the first episode of this, but
It's so damn
Nora,
short.
yeah, Nora to Ojo to Nora Neko Heart. It was funny.
Pretty funny, yeah.
It was funny.
Unfortunately,
It was
it's
very
so short.
Cutesy, slapsticky,
Like,
moe blob.
When we
kind
do get
of,
back to it, we're probably going to be able to watch all the episodes in like a 30-minute period.
If that.
Which is
if
what we're
that.
gonna do.
They're like only like 3 minutes long each. It's
Yeah.
as short as you can get, really.
The next one is the other Mappa.
Yes,
that
the other
has to be talked
Mappa.
to.
Shokoku no Altair.
Or shall we say Arslan Senki version 2?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, historical, cool. Kind of a cool protagonist, but not really grasping me.
It did not grab me.
And then at the same time, a lot of the elements that go on, that go around what you're seeing, visual, like background visuals, character aesthetics.
I like the visuals and well, actually, no,
let me finish what I'm saying. The audio, the music in the background, the different scenarios that's going on, they don't blend well. Like, there's one scene that I remember, it sounded like an Irish jig was playing, but you're watching a whole bunch of...
oh yeah,
You're watching a whole bunch of...
like whirling dervishes and
Yeah.
and the ballet dancer.
Yeah. Which, you don't put those two together.
Whoever tried to do the cultural research for the series failed.
And that's
Or
why
didn't
there's
even
such
care.
a disconnect, and I can't
Yeah.
go on with this series.
Now, if you're gonna do something like this, try to be accurate. Like, just try. They didn't try with this.
Because your tag says historical. I expect you to have a certain degree of detail.
The only details I saw that even somewhat historically accurate were the awesome onion hats. The turbans of some of the council members.
most of the characters.
The costuming, yeah. The
reasonably
costuming looked
accurate.
pretty on point. Other than that, forget about it. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
We did watch the first episode of The Reflection,
Oh boy, here we go.
even though we had some problems getting it out, if I remember right.
Yeah, this one is where we found out that we were having problems with our internet, and which is why we haven't live streamed since.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
So as far as The Reflection goes, I know Zero has a much different opinion than DK and I. I still do believe that the way that it was animated is a stylistic choice. It's just I feel that it was a bad stylistic choice that I personally don't like.
And that's an opinion. The reason why I got up in arms is because I think people were saying that it's downright wrong, which I can't say. You can't say that because you're talking about an opinion, especially when it comes to the style of
With an
anime.
artistic style.
Yeah. It's based off of comics. You got to go in there thinking about this, and once you do, it makes more sense.
I thought it was a decent artistic choice going, obviously based more on Western comics. I just didn't think it was a choice well executed.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't hooked into the story personally.
Yeah, I mean, for being what's supposed to be like a Western comic superhero story, the pacing felt ungodly slow. I mean, you just didn't really get that big old like flashing words for sound effects feel that you normally would associate with Marvel, even just like reading straight through it. So,
But
that was that.
I
But
liked
again,
it. I'm going to try to get back to it at some point. It's just a matter of, again, time management. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, a very divisive series. Watch at your own risk, basically.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You'll know within like the first 30 seconds whether you're gonna like it or not.
That's a good way to put it.
Because first 30 seconds, I was like, oh god, this is awesome. And these two are like,
Oh god, this is
sucks.
awful.
Lies, they're bleeding.
Shit!
Okay, so moving along. Finally, you guys can stop waiting. Sarah Children. It's something that I'm watching. I had DK watch a couple episodes of it, but
Cutesy cringe.
yeah, it's exactly like the manga. Like, even the animation is exactly like the manga.
Oh my
like
gosh,
the
she's
characters
looking at
look
me.
exactly like the manga. It's adorable, it's funny, and it's cringy all in one. It's exactly what I like about the manga.
Yeah.
No, I have to admit, watching the God, I forget that guy's name. The guy who's always down on himself. Watching that guy's segment was
Ooh.
that was
pain.
even more painful than reading that guy's segment. That guy
Actually
is
put a voice
so
to it.
fucking cringy.
That was just pure pain. But the one couple, when they're about to get into it on the bed, mom comes
Yeah,
in.
Kana and Chiaki.
Akane and Chiaki. Holy crap!
Their
Just
stories are just hands down the best in the manga anyway.
make a series just about those two. Fuck the rest of the cast. Make a story just about those. Or actually, no, the class president and the delinquent.
Oh yeah,
They're
I
cool
like
too.
the class president and delinquent too.
All right, make 2 series about those two, and I'd watch it. The rest of it, cutesy cringe. It's a word now.
There's other couples that I like a lot too, but they.
Oh,
they
that's just
haven't
going off
gotten
a
to
little
them
bit
yet.
I've seen. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Yamoto.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
my god, she's fucking hilarious.
God, she looks like a possessed Kodama from Princess Mononoke.
Right, but it's so good. I love it so much. It's exactly what I wanted from an anime based off of that manga. The only thing that I'm disappointed by is the fact that it's 13-minute episodes.
Oh, well.
There's so many chapters of the manga,
Yes.
I feel that they could get away with full episodes of it. And they're not going to catch up to it in this season, so
Oh, well.
I'm looking forward to more.
They
And
have-
I think I am a couple episodes back on it right now, so I do need to watch it, but love it. It's probably my favorite of the series that I'm live streaming.
Oh, okay. It's definitely one of the better, like, I guess, yellow series, going off our color coding here that I've seen as well.
Yeah.
So there's that going for it.
Oh, moving back into the crap section.
This is probably one of the fastest Insta drops in the history. Oh, it's one of them, not the top, but god damn, it lost me so quick.
The point of me making the decision that I don't want to watch it anymore came very quickly. We watched a whole episode,
Vatican
but
Kiseki Cho Sakan.
yeah.
Oh god. Okay, let me just put
And
it this way: the Da Vinci Code has a more coherent story than this shit. And you get historical accuracy going for it. So no, yeah. All right, actually, here we go. Okay, so you remember what you were saying about?
Hang on, sorry.
What's up?
Fantasilian. I heard that this anime was so bad, it's the worst anime review in Anime News Network.
On the whole site.
Episode 3 was apparently rated A+ levels of F. Wow.
A+ levels of F. That's beautiful.
Heard it had something to do with Santa turning into Hitler, spawning demon heads or something, and dying by a card.
So like, yeah, everything. All right, so. So what you were saying about Isekai smartphone?
Wow, I landed that in my shoe.
Don't try that again, then. What would be the odds of that? But yeah, we were talking about Isekai smartphone with it, how it tried to be a You know, like a knockoff of ReZero or Konosuba or something like that.
Well, a knockoff of a generic isekai.
Something, yeah.
That's it. No, that's it. Sorry to go back to smartphone, but that's what it should be described as. It's a knockoff of a generic isekai series. It's a knockoff of genericness.
Damn.
That's what it is. Sorry.
A+ levels of genericness.
Right.
But no, this tries to do the same thing with occultic anime like Hellsing or Ghost Hunt.
Yeah, kind of.
Or even takes a crap sack at Steins Gate. The first episode was so disjointed it made Steins Gate actually make sense.
Wow. We found an anime so bad it makes Steins Gate look good. I never thought we'd say that.
The beginning of Steins Gate.
The first episode.
Yeah. I always try to be careful when talking about Steins Gate here because I know it has so many fans.
I don't.
But I know you don't. You don't care at all what you say. But I don't like the beginning of Steins Gate. I still don't like the beginning of Steins Gate.
9 times out of 10 people who I talk to about Steins Gate tell me that the very first episode, the very first time that they watched it, after the first episode, they dropped it for a couple years. 9 times out of 10.
I wouldn't necessarily say that much, but
In either case, this first episode's worse.
I've only seen one person who watched it all the way. I've only found one person in our subs who watched it all the way through to the very end, first time round. One person.
There you go.
And this first episode was so confusing. I thought I was a little confused after the first episode of Steins Gate, which I was.
But no.
This takes the cake.
this takes the cake and then takes a shit on the cake.
This takes the
this
takes
is a
the
turd-
Dairy Queen store.
No, this is a turd that looks like a cake. No. Actually, it doesn't even look like a cake. It's just a turd. No, there's nothing good about this. It's so bad, you know what? Yeah, this is an anti-anime. It should just, like, go into the black hole from whence it came and never be seen from again.
Now, the weird part is, I do know that some people do really like this mystery and stuff like that, but I cannot get into this. It's just so weird and disjointed, and I have no idea where it's going. I have no idea.
So
what to
rushed
follow.
and so inaccurate in a lot of details. Well, for one, you know, I've never seen that many blonde, blue-eyed people live in Mexico. Worse
Anyway.
than the Silver Link card game animes? Possibly. This might be worse. I think this is worse than Ange Verge. It definitely lost my interest.
And
slightly.
Verge actually made sense.
Or it tried.
It just made bad sense.
It tried to make sense. It tried. This didn't try at all.
Anyway, enough said about that. We're never
Finally.
watching it.
No,
Yeah, we're not
on.
watching it
It's
anymore.
it's a drop.
Finally, we can wrap this up with Yokai Apartment, Yuga na Nichijo, which we only watched, like, what, 2 episodes of?
2 episodes.
It's
One of my
alright.
it's one of my more favorite Yellow series.
For me, it's just alright.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty meh.
one of those series that kind of reminds me, what was that Mononoke on one
Oh yeah.
a while back?
Shit.
A series like that where it's like, you know, this isn't a bad series. It's just, it doesn't grab me like... It's not one of those series that I'm like, I gotta see what happens next.
Actually, the one I was going to draw a parallel to before you mentioned Mononoke on was Kyokai no Rene.
That's another one that's almost of the same vein.
Kind of
where
like
it's
that, but less funny.
Yeah, where it's like, you know, this is a okay series. It's kind of interesting, but it's not like one of the series that grabs you and doesn't let go.
Right.
It's just, it's there.
It's there. It exists. It's not bad.
This can be gotten back to or completely passed over.
Yeah. But if we pass it over, it's not because it's bad.
It just
It's
because
because it's of time.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can give that.
It's definitely one of those series that
Respectable.
if we end up completely dropping it, then I'm not ever going to be thinking in the back of my mind, I want to get back to this someday. It's just not. It's not that good.
Yeah, not that good, not that bad. Very middle of the road.
Okay, so finally
Long
wrap that up.
last.
At long last, we've been recording now for 2.5 hours.
And we were actually recording. That would have sucked.
So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into our, I guess, mid-season now top 5.
Yeah.
Which I haven't even thought of.
Fuck.
So
We never do, though.
I really never do.
We have to be put on the spot for this.
Yep.
You got to see the wheels in what's left of our brains turning, especially after Vatican II. Ugh. Anyway. Okay.
Well,
top 5. Oh.
I think I am going to start off with Kakegurui as my number 5.
You make it.
I can't get enough of it. There are just things that I'm enjoying more than this, or else it would hit a number 1.
Okay.
Because, yeah, most of these are going to be rather close.
Fuck.
But yeah, Kakegurui is number 5.
Yeah, my number 5, I'm probably going to put Aho Girl. Because it's funny. I wish that there was more of it, I guess. But
Like
at
a
the same
proper
time, I
series.
almost feel like it's best in small doses.
Yeah, there's only so much stupid you can handle.
Right.
Yeah.
Though a lot of it does have to go to Tomokazu Sugita as the straight man, because
Again, that's
God, that guy's perfect as a
that's
straight
instant
man.
comedy gold right there. It doesn't matter who you
He's
have
just
supporting
so
him.
perfect at it.
If you have him as a straight man, you're set. On that vein, I also have to go with Aho Girl at number 5. Is that kind of like it's really fucking funny. It's that burst that that laugh out loud kind of series that you haven't really gotten a whole lot of in the past couple seasons. Just other than just turn the brain off more so than usual and just have a good like belly laugh with.
Yeah. Number 4?
Number 4 for me, I think is probably gonna be Made in Abyss.
Also, can we include second seasons or continuations?
Have we done that before though?
I don't know. I can't remember.
'Cause normally we kind of
I
do.
think we do for mid seasons.
Oh.
No, don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Boku no Hero's dope.
Boku no Hero. Boku no Hero, New Game Plus, they're awesome. I mean, I think we pretty much covered that.
Shingeki
Shingeki no Bahamut.
Well, unfortunately, that doesn't leave me with very many options.
Well, we're only doing 5.
But yeah, Made in Abyss would definitely be number 4. Just I am enjoying it. I got past the weird chibi art style, and everything else looks fantastic and it's fun.
Fun. There you go. I think that's a pretty good criteria for an anime.
For my number 4, I'm going to go with Kakegurui.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, it's fun, it's good animation. There's just, a couple of things which we brought up when we were discussing it that kind of bring it down a little bit for me. The main male character, for sure.
Let's scroll up here. My number 4. Sorry, I'm really thinking here. I'm going to have to go with Gamers for my number 4. Again, it really surprised me. Like I said earlier, I was expecting the second coming of Defrag, and I am actually a bit relieved that that's not the case. It's a slightly more serious story.
Defrag
and,
was a special series.
different kind of special, buddy. Deep. But yeah, this is a story with a lot for a lot of people to enjoy. Fan service, comedy, and a real serious, surprisingly mature story to go with it. And top that off with great animation, especially in the terms of character, facial expressions. Just a great watch. Number 3.
Number 3. Well, unfortunately, my number 3 now doesn't exist
Aw.
because I can't do second seasons. But my number 3 was going to be Shingeki no Bahamut.
Oh, it's number 3.
That's number 3.
Damn. There are a few gems, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay.
What is it now?
Huh?
What's
What
it
is it
now
now?
that?
Number 3 does not exist because the number 2 and number 1 can't be dealt with.
All right. So throw a. I guess mentally throw a dart at the board then.
Nope, because you can't go above Maiden Abyss. No, nothing else can go above Maiden Abyss or
Okay,
Kakegurui.
then move those two up. What would be your new number 5?
What will be my new number 5?
There we go. You must.
I'll let you
answer.
think about it. My number 3 is Fate Apocrypha.
Okay.
It's Fate. No,
Solid explanation. My number 3 is Kakegurui. The eyes have it. Yumiko gives 0 fucks. She is bae for that reason.
So now
And
that
also, damn, that ending.
I have to reissue my numbers, Knights and Magic is going to be my number 5.
Okay.
Which is hilarious because it's so bad.
So
it's
bad.
But
so
it's
good.
so enjoyable.
It's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. You're still gonna watch it.
Kakegurui, and it's number 5 because it is a train wreck. Kakegurui, and it's only number 4
Okay.
because that main dude, just he's there.
Yeah, he really does bring the series down.
Maiden Abyss is number 3 because there is nothing to complain about after you get over the cheapiness of the main characters.
All right.
Now number 2.
Now number 2, Fate, because Fate. There is nothing to complain about. I have nothing to complain about. It is enjoyable and deep, and I love it. Fate.
Fate. Because fate.
And now you know why Bahamut fit where it was supposed to fit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So my number 2 is Surizura Children. I really fucking love that series.
All right.
I've been reading that manga forever, and so when I saw it that it was getting an anime adaptation, I was super excited,
Nice.
and it has not disappointed. So, the only thing that I could say about it is I wish the episodes were longer.
Yeah. Have more of a good thing there
Pretty
in
much.
your mind. Okay.
It's adorable.
Cringy cute.
Cringy cute.
All right. My number 2, Maiden Abyss. I love that feeling of adventure. I mean,
I'm going on an adventure!
But it's just, you follow these characters, and it's just they're like vehicles for you to see this incredible world through.
And it is beautifully
But at the same time, they're not like flat, one-dimensional, no-face coons, if you will.
and they're also not completely impeccable.
Yeah, they have flaws. They have depth to them. They're the most complex eyepieces for a world I've ever had the pleasure to see a world through. So, definitely number 2, and it has me looking forward to it every week. Number 1.
Number 1,
Number 1.
Gamers.
Gamers.
I said it in the last episode of that Gamers
Yeah,
is my number
I
1
concur. Gamers is my number 1 as well.
because it's, for one, it brings back so many memories. And I can
It's just
see
so real.
each character in that character is a friend of mine. That character is another friend of mine.
That character's me. Shit.
That character is totally me.
Totally done that before.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Okay.
I also did something from this character, but it's real, and it is such a deep exploration of the gamer's psyche that is so subtly there that
And then there's Technicolor.
The facial expressions are just on point and perfect.
I'm gonna say coming up with the title for that episode is probably the most fun I've had. Coming up with a title for any episode we've done.
The only thing that you need to do is throw in a little LARP session every now and then, and you have like my high school life.
Okay, cool. So that's number one for you both, yo. My number one, Fate. Because Fate is willing to experiment and break from the formula. And they do a spectacular job of it.
This time.
They're not like making some Magic Girl anime and rolling with it for how many fucking seasons now?
I wasn't even talking about that one.
Oh. Well, we don't talk about the garbage either.
Anyway.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's our top fives. Lots of fun. Those that we said that we might not have time for. We are looking for time. Unfortunately, schedules aren't matching up. Work's being a dick. Internet's not cooperating, and
So
just
streams
a
are
ton of
fucked.
stuff is not going our way right now. We're working on it.
So, SSDD?
And on top of all of that, we got backlogs. On top of all of that, hey, what's our subscriber count right now?
T minus...
Like 80.
80?
Minus 80.
Oh, shit, yeah.
T minus
79
79 to 5,000.
So we got that to plan for, too.
Shit.
Wow, all these issues, and they still keep coming. I love it.
But yeah, thank
I
you
love
guys for
this.
watching.
That's going to do it for this episode of Otaku Saga Talks. And boy, did we talk.
We talked.
For 2 hours and 41 minutes. Holy
Wow.
crap.
Is that a record?
It might be. But we
That's a
need to
pretty
get
long
this
one.
done. So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
We need to get this done for a while.
yeah. See you guys next time.
Yo. Peace.